I like it more based on what people have told me about it than I would have liked it myself. Like, I think this isn't good enough, but people will come in here and they'll be like, oh, I like this. Wow, it's nice. And so that makes me feel like, ah. And, you know, the other thing is, this is literally my apartment that we're in. So because of that, I feel like I've assembled things properly because I call it a studio with the studio. It's a one bedroom, but really my bedroom is where the living room is supposed to be, and this is the studio. And partially that's to separate it from the animals, but also it's just like, you know, I feel like there's something about having a space where you do like work and all these things, and then a space where you sleep. It's just weird to me, the idea of a studio apartment. It's all in one compact space. I've never done it. It sounds crazy. Just everything being in one room, especially with pets. Oh my God. Just surrounded by these guys. I can't just go, Marco, give me a minute. Give me a minute, Marco. But yeah, how do you feel about your space? You like your living space right now?
You caught me at a time when my wife and I are thinking about moving into a bigger house that we cannot afford.
You have a loan on it or something like that?
We have a nice house right now, and I love it. But the only kicker is my wife is pregnant. Kid number 2 is due in December, and it's not cheap.
No.
Life is not cheap if you're doing it the right way, I feel.
Yeah. No, absolutely right. If you're doing it the right way, life's not cheap at all. Life's not cheap even if you're doing it the wrong way sometimes. Life's not cheap. So how is it like this house is an upgrade, I imagine?
Yeah, we have 3 bedrooms right now, which is fine for us and 1 child. But my wife works from home a lot. I work in the basement. So we might move into a bigger house. But this is a champagne problem. Yeah. I know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, am I going to work a lot more? Am I going to slow down and work smarter? Right? Or am I going to be one of these performers that works for this big house and then comes home and your wife has left you?
Right. Yeah. Shout out professional wrestlers. Those guys are touring the country all year. They're the only sport that doesn't have a break.
Interesting.
Can you imagine? Yeah, how do their families feel? Like, they come back home for a couple days, but they're just constantly flying back and forth and back and forth. And they get no love. Nobody's showing love to those guys for that. Football, they get breaks.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met John Cena.
Oh, I saw that, dude. So what is, like, the whole story of that? How does that even line up? Like, was it... How did you get to meet him? Well, you didn't reach out to him directly, I imagine.
No, it was great. Man, I feel the urge for you to go 3, 2, 1. Because I've seen a few episodes.
You know what's funny is I always go back and forth with that because I'll think, should I do it? Should I do it? And if I'm having like a natural conversation with someone, like we just did, I'm like, well, if I throw a 3, 2, 1 in, I'm just going to cut off the whole flow of what we're doing. So I might as well just roll with what we're doing. If you want, I'll do it. I'll do it right now. I might keep what we just had before just for funsies, but I'll do the 3, 2, 1 because you asked. No one's ever requested it, so I'm kind of honored.
I'm just aware of it. I know if you're anything like me, I don't want to introduce my guests, my people. I'll say, tell everybody your name.
Really?
So I don't mispronounce somebody's name.
That's why you do it?
Yeah.
Because I was just explaining yesterday. I filmed 2 episodes yesterday. I think it was with Christopher. I was explaining it, Christopher Barsanti. I was explaining to him why I do it exactly that way because I have it. So I'll do it and then I'll explain it. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 188 of Ruse Radio. We are back at it again with a very special guest, a guest that has done amazing things in this world, things that will blow your mind. We've got a professional mind blower in the building. Professional mind blower, please introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Chris Jones. It's one word, Chris Jones. I'm a professional hypnotist. I was on America's Got Talent. I hypnotized Howie Mandel.
Hell yeah. And you just did it for me because usually the next question I would ask would be, introduce yourself to the people. If they don't know who you are, what do you do? That's the next one. And the whole point of that is not because I'm afraid I'm going to mispronounce her name. One person did make that joke to me once when I did that. They were like, you were worried. That's exactly what they said because she thought that's what I was doing. Mm-hmm. No. What I'm doing is I'm giving the guest enough space to give me their own introduction. Because how I think about it is, even if it's like a super famous person, if everybody knows who they are, sure. But if you let them introduce themselves, they might say something that you didn't expect them to say, and that they can just guide the conversation themselves. You just gave them an opportunity to take it wherever they wanted to go, rather than saying what they are for them. You know, I think that's like a really good way to do it, because you never know what people are going to say. Some people like play themselves down. A few people I do that, and they like, I'm just kind of like a shitty comedian. Like, they actually make themselves sound worse than I would have. So, but whatever, you know, you give them an opportunity to do their own thing. And I think that's what I'm really trying to do. I like your approach, though. I like the idea of, I really don't want to mess this up. Let's just let them. Even after people pronounce their name, sometimes I still get it wrong. That's like, sometimes you ever worry like you hear a name wrong and you're gonna go to back to it. Sometimes I won't say people's names for days. I still have people I work with
100%.
who I don't say their name because I'm scared I'm gonna get it wrong, and it'll be so embarrassing because I've known them for years.
Yeah, I don't call my neighbors by their names. I just go, hey, buddy. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Hey, grandma. How we doing, auntie?
There's so many names. At a certain point, there's so many names.
Right. And you think about how many roles you live in your life. You know, the neighbor, the coworker. It's impossible.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the Howie Mandel thing. I do want to ask about that, too. With that, so really what I would want to ask is just the whole, like, what's the whole day? Like, what's the experience of that? Not just like what you see on camera, but like the whole day leading up to it. Just what was that like?
The day leading up to it, that's great. Months leading up to that. It started with an email saying, hey, I'm a producer on America's Got Talent. We've seen your videos on YouTube. Mind you, this is 2015. And they said, we want a hypnotist. And I said, you know, I do a lot of college shows. I don't watch America's Got Talent. I used to. It's a good show. I just don't watch it. Who are your judges? And when they said Howie Mandel, I said, excellent. Everyone knows he's afraid of germs. I'll hypnotize him and shake my hand. And they said, you can do that? I'm like, pretty sure. No guarantee, but pretty sure I can. So then they asked, what are you going to do for the second round and the third round and 4 rounds? Because they want to see, you know, your character developing, your arc and the backstory of the performer. And they had me audition. I flew in to Winston-Salem, I think, paid my own ticket. They gave me a barcode so I could skip the line, little wristband action. I auditioned for a camera person and one other guy. Didn't go great, so I flew back.
The audition is what? Like, you weren't doing the
As
same...
a hypnotist.
But you weren't doing like the whole Howie Mandel routine.
No, it's literally all over the country. They just have people with a camera, like record the content.
And what they wanted you to do was just to hypnotize one of those 2 people.
It's like, well, how do you, right? What do you do?
And you don't even have any context going into it, nothing.
Nah.
Yeah.
I auditioned again in Chicago. It went very well. And then a couple months later, they flew me to New York. I filmed in front of a live audience. Howie shook my hand. Holy crap. Holy shit. I'm walking off stage. It's great. And they go, don't tell anyone what happened, because we're going to edit it. We're going to do this. And it's not going to air for a while. Only person I told was my dad. I told my dad, I was like, hey, Dad, I did something really cool. I think my life's going to change. He's like, all right. I was like, don't tell anyone, Dad. He says, I won't. That was December. May, it aired. It was May 26th.
Around your birthday.
Yeah, day before my birthday.
My birthday's 2 days before mine.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, my birthday's May 29th.
Yeah. And there was a viewing party for it. So I got to be next to Mel B, the Spice Girl, former Spice Girl.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Howie Mandel.
That's awesome.
And other contestants. So we're all just watching it together.
Oh, really? And I didn't know they did that. That's really cool.
We had all these influencers there, and I didn't know PR. I didn't know anything. I was just in the corner trying to be humble. And I'm watching myself, and this is pretty cool. And my phone lights up. Everyone's like, cure me, help me. I have this fear, this phobia, get me over this thing. And
let me just say,
yeah.
And before I say that, let me say this, okay? I think that what he did when he went out there is he blew everyone's mind. Chris Jones, the professional mind blower in action, blowing the minds of all the people at America's Got Talent. This man's got talent. This man's got an amazing magical skill, a skill that deserves a t-shirt, if you ask me. And we got them. We got professional mind blower t-shirts, folks. That's right. Smalls, mediums, larges, and we can make other sizes if you so please. All it takes is a little bit of a message to the rooster himself, the top of the roost, the one running the coop. That's me. Shout out my chickens and my roosters, and shout out my professional mind blowers. I love you guys, and I think all of you are professional mind blowers. It's just a matter of how you blow minds. You got something that you can do that is mind-blowing. Just figure out what it is and then hammer that in until the day that you can't anymore, till the wheels fall off, as they say. It's what makes life so cool that we all can do that. The shirts are $25. That is shipping included. All the information on how to get those shirts is down there in that description. If you want to support this show but you don't want to buy a t-shirt, well, don't you worry. We got you covered. There's this little thing called Patreon, folks. $5. And you can support this show. You can help this show grow. And I'm telling you, I'm working on an impossible budget right now. Like literally, as I think about the future, I'm thinking, I don't know how much longer this is possible. So if you like what we're doing, please help me, dear God, because I'm trying my best here till the wheels fall off, as they say. So please, the Patreon. And not only that, you're supporting the show. You got exclusive Patreon content. What? That's right. We got music on there that's not coming out anywhere else. You hear my songs early and exclusive conversations, just like this show here on that Patreon. So it's all super cool, and I'm trying to push it more and more as we move forward. I'm going to put more and more cool stuff on there. Already, all that stuff I just mentioned, but I'm going to go even harder on those interviews, and just keep an eye out for that, okay? Because that's what this thing is all about, is grassroots support, in the sense that I am trying my very best to put other people on. So as you see me do that, if you guys could help put me on, that would be a beautiful reciprocal relationship, kind of like a human centipede, if you will. Last but not least, I've got shows coming up. What? That's true. We are doing a giveaway. This is a show I put together, okay? It's going to be a $100 giveaway. It's going to be the party of the summer, and it is called the Midsummer Cash Bash. It's going to be an awesome show. We got an awesome lineup. Just awesome things all around. We're going to be giving out $100 at the end, like I said, to one random person who comes to the show. And also, we are going to have awesome comedy and awesome music, and we'll be giving out stuff throughout the whole show, and it'll be a little bit of game show oriented. There's going to be some games throughout the show, so you got to be there. It's going to be so awesome. It's just the start of a very big thing for me, the Cash Bash brand. Okay, baby? Cash Bash, we on our way up. 2025, the prequel. That's going to be August 23rd at Surge Billiards. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8 p.m. The cash giveaway is at 10:30. Okay, last but not least, I have a show the week after that, just 1 week after that. On the 30th, I'm going to be with my homie James Najjar. He's going to be headlining. It's going to be James and friends at O'Donnell's. Same time, doors at 7, show at 8. I don't know. It's O'Donnell's. I don't even know if there's a doors. I don't know if that's how I think you just show up. Show is at 8 p.m. It's going to be awesome. Again, awesome comics all around. Friends of Ruse Radio. People you've seen on here or on both of these shows I just mentioned. People you've seen on here or on both of these shows that I just mentioned. You got to go to the shows. You can catch me live. Say that you saw me mention it on this podcast. When you show up, say the code word is turkey. So if you show up and you say the code word turkey, I'm going to be really excited. Maybe I'll even give you a prize. Maybe I'll give you a prize if you show up at one of these shows and you say the word turkey. All right, let's see. Now, let's hear, with this interruption being done, what my other interruption was going to be.
Hypnotherapy that's really common in the hypnosis sphere. Like that's kind of, I imagine it's probably even the most prominent field within it, right?
That's a good question. I go to a couple conferences. There's one in Ireland I went to, the Hypnotherapy conference in Ireland. I had a blast.
Yeah.
It's my first time in Ireland, Dublin.
I mean, it's a great thing.
It is. But imagine if you had a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Cardiologist doing stand-up. You'd be like, that was a very funny tight 5. Why are you this funny? You should be smarter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do a really good stage show and they're like, oh, wow, that was so funny. I laughed my butt off. Great. I'm glad you did. I can help you quit smoking.
Yeah, they're two different things.
I can cure you.
Yeah.
But and then there's like conferences on street hypnosis. That's a thing. So because of legalese, I never, ever call myself a hypnotherapist. Never have. We like to sue in America, right? Everyone wants to get rich really fast, so they try to sue.
Yeah.
But if you go to Europe in a heartbeat, you can be a hypnotherapist.
Really?
It's a little bit harder to sue over there. Yeah.
I didn't. So if you wanted to go there and get a hypnotherapist right away, you could, but here it's harder to do, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because of suing.
And we have 50 states here. Like in Illinois, to call yourself a hypnotherapist, you probably have to have 110 hours. Let's say in Missouri, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. Same as New Jersey, New York. If you want to get away with shit, go to New Jersey.
I wonder why. So why would people sue with hypnotherapy, though? What are people suing for?
Well, some hypnotists, it's like any occupation. Some are better than others.
Right.
Right.
Of course. I argue that 90% to 99% of most occupations, people are mediocre. And it's like the 1 to 10% that's actually good. And it's like, it's just kind of something that you have to deal with life. But like you look at any field and it's why people stick out. The best people are rare. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Like,
you definitely have your outliers.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
And so you're going to have a lot of mediocrity. I mean, I'm a rapper. I see a lot of that. It just drives me crazy. I don't know what it's like in the hypnosis world. I'm sure there's a lot of people who, they're just getting started, or maybe they don't fully even see. For me, it's probably the same thing it is with rap, where I feel like people don't really understand the craft of hip hop, and they're doing it, but they're not really doing it. And there's probably people that are doing that with hypnosis, where they're doing it, but they're not really doing it, because there's probably a real craft and an art to it that if you're just a layman, if you don't really understand, you could never just pick it up and go.
It depends on if you're doing the stage or you're doing the clinical.
Right.
Right? Or you become a trainer.
Okay.
And there are parallels, I feel, with being a comedian or stand-up performer or improv. You can be on stage or you can teach, right? The teachers may not be the funniest, but they're the people who can break it all down for you. Right. And give it to you in a digestible bit.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, wow, that's interesting. They like teaching or entertaining, like those two things. Yeah, because you can't really teach while you entertain. You can, but not really. Yeah. And
you think about teaching while you entertain?
Well, I'm thinking like if I was trying to entertain people, I probably couldn't really teach them at the same time. Is that what you're saying? Like you're either doing one or the other?
I think it's kind of like you got to get eyeballs on you. You got to give them information, and they have to keep the eyeballs on you. Right. Right. So you got to juggle all three at the same time.
Right. I think that there's something to... So I always say that everything in life is hypnosis. This is how I feel. Okay. I think that everything in life is like a low-grade hypnosis. I think that I call myself ruse, and how I explain this is that everything is a ruse, and nothing is truly real, and everything is a matter of stories. I've heard Darren Brown explain this really well, where it's like everything is stories, and that's why hypnosis works.
Stories
because
we tell
everything's
ourselves.
a narrative. Yes, and that's something I say all the time too. We are stories we tell ourselves, and that's how our minds are designed to work. It's literally survival. It's like the way you would learn to do things is to differentiate and then separate things, and that's what you do. And so if someone can learn to override that. And also I've heard Darren Brown say it's all about like control. And that is what it's about. It's about taking wherever, like any stage act. If someone's killing, if I'm on stage and I'm doing music and I'm just captivating an audience, it's hypnotic in a sense. Yeah. Everyone that's watching, I'm in a sense of hypnosis because I'm in a certain like flow state where I'm not even necessarily thinking anymore. I'm just doing the thing. And there's something about that I think like it's
I think someone like you just proves it. Like, I think hypnotists that do what they do well, that they can just take it and go to a college and hypnotize a bunch of people, proves that that's a thing that just exists. You can't like deny it. You could take people and hypnotize them.
Yeah. All right. So let me give you a story. Because I'm at the stage in my career where I'm no longer trying to make people believe that it's real.
Yeah.
I have given up on that. And when I teach people, I go, don't try to convince people it's real. Not everyone's going to believe you. I did a show in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, in a gymnasium, and it was great. I had 13 chairs on stage, and I hypnotized 6 people, and every other person is unhypnotized. So they get to interact with someone who's hypnotized, right? And then I get more people in the audience, and I'm doing a whole 90-minute show. It is great. And I go, acoustics are a little bit tricky in here, to myself. And I say, I'm going to wake them up, give you back your friends. If anyone acts a little less weird or a little weird, I'll fix it. It's no big deal. Just don't panic. Because think about it. If you go to your friend, you go, are you okay? They're like, yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure you're okay? Because they will feel like maybe I'm not okay. Maybe you see something I don't see.
Right.
Flash cut. Kids are running around. My kid's a little weird. My classmates, my best friend. I'm like, all right, calm down. Who's this person? I just met them today. I'm like, well, so, okay, so you really don't know what's weird for them. They call the paramedics. They called EMTs. Police are there. And I'm going around with people trying to calm everything down. Advisors who people booked me are like, we've had a hypnotist 9 years in a row. This has never happened before. I was like, yeah, we have the same hypnotist 9 years in a row. He's great. He's the guy who taught me. Today is just an off day. We're post-pandemic kids. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Who knows?
You know, I told them not to do something. Maybe I should have said the opposite. Either way, they're like, we're never having hypnotists again. I was like, all right, that's fine with me. Probably shouldn't. And I got an Instagram message from a girl saying, I don't believe any of this. Those people are in on, I'll only believe it if it happens to me. And I'm like, they called the paramedics.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to hypnotize me for me to believe it. I'm like, I don't do shit. No. I'm catching my next flight for the next show so this shit doesn't happen again. Good luck in college.
So you tell me, because I'm pretty sure this would be true. If someone is skeptical, if someone doesn't believe in hypnosis, you can't hypnotize them, right? Like if someone is fighting it actively, it kind of becomes impossible.
2 different things. If they don't believe, they can still be hypnotized.
Right.
If they're fighting it, it's harder.
Yeah, well, what I mean when I say don't believe, that's what I mean. I mean that nowhere in their heart do they think this is real. And so as you're trying to do it to them, they're just thinking, oh, this is nonsense. And
right.
so, of course, if that's going to be how you react,
yeah.
you're never going to get hypnotized.
No.
But like, and so... I think I heard Darren Brown say this too. It's like in a group of 1,000 people, you're bound to find somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's really a matter of numbers. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Like not everyone's going to get hypnotized. What do you think the number is for like the amount of people that are viable for hypnosis? If you were to just make a ballpark guess.
It's kind of like fishing with a net versus fishing with bait.
Why is that?
How many fish are in the lake? I don't know. What percentage of the fish you want to catch? Well, you want to do it with a big net? Or you want to go with a specific one?
You kind of filter people out.
Right. If someone says, I want to quit smoking. All right. You come to the person who helps quit smoking. So that fish has found that bait. Versus, I'm going to try to hypnotize everybody in this room. Make them do funny, interesting things. If you want to volunteer, raise your hand. If you don't, chill. Even if you're chill, you might get hypnotized.
Yeah.
Just what it is.
So with the Howie Mandel thing, is that something you were worried about? Like, what if Howie Mandel doesn't get hypnotized?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because, I mean, oh my God, like that would, in my mind, that's the ultimate risk. It's not whether hypnosis is real. It's like, is Howie Mandel is this gonna work on him in particular?
Yeah, I took
it all rides on one thing.
Well, I like to say I'm gonna do something, I have a big mouth.
Yeah.
And then it's just, if I believe I can do something, it doesn't always work out, but maybe it will eventually. Like I tattooed on my arm, I will win the Chicago Marathon and set a world record. So when I shake people's hand, it's like, hold me accountable. I tattooed this, my first tattoo. I might add ... I changed my mind. ... Not yet.
In another life.
Yeah. Because my views during my early years as a performer, I wanted just to perform and be great on stage and entertain and amaze. And then I met a beautiful woman who I fell in love with, and we have a daughter right now and kid number 2 on the way. And I don't need to do tricks outdoors for $300 anymore.
Yeah.
And I really understand my dad so much more now, being like, I'm not taking that job. It's beneath me. It's like, Dad, but it's money. It's like, someone else needs that job. Someone else needs that $300 more.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, I think you set a value for yourself. Like, if I tell you I'm worth $100, I am worth $100. Yeah. If I tell you I'm worth 1,000, I'm worth 1,000. Even, and I think, like, I think people get value wrong. Like, if I'm paying for a camera person and I'm paying him $1,500 for a music video, I'm not paying him because he brought a super fancy camera and he brought all this cool equipment. I'm paying him because he has all the experience that leads to what he can provide in that moment. And I think, like, you set the stage for yourself. And also, the people who are paying a $1,500 client is so much different than a $500 or $300 client. It's just different. People are different. I've heard people even say that you're less likely to get paid on time when you ask for 100 as opposed to 1,500.
Man, if you think you're underpaid, they're not going to pay you on time.
Yeah.
That will tell you. Whereas if you show up and the check is in hand, you're like, all right, maybe I'm in the pocket.
Yeah, it's much different.
Yeah.
I mean, how has your just doing all these different shows at different places, how has that changed over the, because I mean, for one, how long were you doing it before it started to be like a viral thing with people filming it and all that? You were already doing it for a while, right?
I loved magic. I started as a magician, like literally putting out a hat and a table on the street.
Yeah.
Going to the boardwalks, doing stuff like that. And then that eventually became, all right, let me learn hypnosis. And in 2011, I bought a brand new Prius, put all my stuff in it, drove it home from Carbondale to my dad's house in Chicago. He's like, got a lot of stuff. And I go, yeah. He goes, you want to tell me something? I was like, Dad, I quit my job at the university. I'm going to be a traveling hypnotist. He shit a brick. He was like, son, you went to college. You graduated. You went to grad school. You graduated. You're going to be a traveling hypnotist? I was like, yeah, no, Dad, it's going to work out. I had my first show at IIT in Chicago. And yeah, it's been a good run.
I mean, you had said in an interview, I'm surprised you didn't say it just now, that you were a terrible magician.
I wasn't very good. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go there. I was like, I wonder if he doesn't want to say that.
No, I brought my deck of cards and it's crazy.
Now, is it just because like it's the sleight of hand and all that? That's never been your forte? Is that what's going on there? Because I mean, what I really want to get at there is like, I wonder, cause I heard you saying you saw a hypnotist. The hypnotist it clicked in your mind, oh, this is what I should be doing. Yeah. And what I wonder when I hear someone say that is like, so what is it that you saw in hypnotism? Like, is it you saw like, oh, this is like more, I can use my charisma, I can use my personality, I can use all these other things that it's almost like magic, but with your mind. Like, was it kind of that mentality? What was it that you saw in hypnotism that you couldn't see in magic? You know, what's the big difference that you felt?
Part of it was the guy I saw on stage. He was chiropractor, Dr. Steve Tallman. And I was in Carbondale at the time, and I met him before the show. I said, hey, I know you're the hypnotist. I saw your posters. I'm a huge fan of magic, but also dabbling in hypnosis. He goes, okay, cool. Stick around at the end of the show. And he does this routine where he takes the guy's wallet, and he says, give me your wallet. Go back to sleep. Forget you gave me that. And he did it 3 times. And he's like, Chris, you're in the audience. You can't do this with magic. And that was the thing when I was like, all right, I'm going to learn this thing and I'm going to focus on this thing. And then I had another mentor, Fred Winters, let me carry his bags, helped him sell CDs. Again, this is 2010, 2009. I would sell his CDs for him. And then I got my now agent, Salish, this big Indian dude, bald head, earrings, tattoos everywhere. He did a special, Salish in Iceland. I'll send you the link. It's incredible. Iceland, Europe, they're very open and fluid with their sexuality. It's a very sexual hypnosis show.
All right.
He's shaking people's hand, male, female, doesn't matter. They're having orgasms.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. And I think he said he's been there like 14 times because Iceland loves him.
Wow.
Like they've never seen a guy. Like Quentin Tarantino was in Iceland same time that he was there. Right? And they saw each other at the mall. And he heard a story about him. Like there are all these women next to Quentin Tarantino. He's a big deal director. I'm like, oh, but has he met Salish? And Quentin's like, what the fuck is a Salish? What is a Salish? Right? And he's like, yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
Salish could be a character in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
He could. 100%.
He would fit right in. That is, I mean, that's another thing I wanted to ask you is what hypnotists do you watch that impress you? Like as
Flip Orley is probably the best hypnotist for comedy clubs, period.
Because why?
He's a comedian who learned hypnosis. And I like that he's very genuine on stage. He's super relaxed. He has all these chairs on stage, like, come on, if you want to volunteer, come on. 30 chairs. And he goes, forget your name. You can't say your name. Eyes open. And he goes on the line and he meets all of them. And like 3 will forget their name. And he goes, oh, are all of you back down? If you said your name, you're going to come back. I feel great. Eyes open. And he lets all those people back off stage. And then he does another full hour with 3 people hypnotized.
Yeah.
And it's hysterical because they're really fucking hypnotized.
He does an hour?
Maybe 2. Like it never loses its
like
edge.
A set? Like he's doing a comedy set?
He does 30 because he's funny. He tells them, he's like, it's going to get slow now. I'm going to do the induction part. It's going to be boring. Buckle up. And then he does his routines and they're so funny. And it's very different than like the state fair where you keep kids on even though they're not hypnotized because they're cute or they're funny, they're doing a TikTok dance. He knows what he's doing. He's in the comedy club presenting comedy. I don't know if he does a weight loss CD. I don't know if he does any of that, but he's there doing comedy and it's funny. I saw him at the DC Improv and it's always sold out.
Yeah, and I think hypnosis in settings like that, is it different? Like, is it harder to pull off in a setting like a comedy club where people are less likely to expect it? Like if it's in the middle of a comedy show or something like that?
I've gone up at the Laugh Factory. It's been hit and miss. You know, sometimes you do an appearance for the appearance.
Yeah.
I like the Laugh Factory. They were good to me. I've done Zanies, but the tricky thing is I don't promote myself. I had a publicist. She was fantastic. She stood at my wedding. Can't say enough great things about her. But pandemic hit. I had to pay for daycare. I had to learn how to do shows over Zoom.
Yeah.
During the pandemic because colleges were closed. And it was like, oh, well, what are you going to do now?
I said you are awake. I said you are awake.
Yeah, I've had just a couple of those. Like one lady got hypnotized and started speaking in Russian. And her somehow her mic got muted, so I couldn't communicate with her. And and so she was like in a room by herself. And this is an office group thing, and I'm like, is there anyone else there? It's like, yeah, there's one guy there, but he's from the Ukraine. Like, there's a crossover at languages, but like, and so he's like, just give her the command form of wake up. And so I was like, folks, if you think this is fake, you can't. This has gone off the rails so well. It's not possible.
Well, and it's just so wild to me you could even do it through Zoom. I mean, like, because I would assume that so much of hypnosis is Like, I think a podcast, I don't like doing a podcast over Zoom because I think something happens if I'm
100%.
right here with you in
100%.
person.
Yeah.
And if we did this over Zoom, it would be completely different. It would be still good, but it would not be what it is right now. It just never is.
Even with my favorite podcast, if I hear like that little, hey, it's good to see you. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch this episode. I'm not going to listen.
And it's just like, I think that there's just something that it's one of those things you just can't really explain. There's something human about us. It's deeper than anything else. We connect in these ways we don't truly understand. That's how it works. Again, that's something that hypnosis can expose. And so I would assume that hypnosis would be so... I mean, is it harder to at least do through something like that where you have this limitation of, I'm not with you, I can't look you in the eyes per se. You know, if someone's looking at a camera, they might not be looking directly at the screen.
Oh, that's a good question. No, I think it's honestly more about buy-in, you know?
Yeah, because we're the stories we tell ourselves, right? So it's like, how much do I believe what's happening?
Like two people, I think this is Chris Rock, two people can move a couch easily, but if only one person's doing the work, right? That's going to be hard.
Yes. Wow.
So when someone's like, yeah, I want it, I'm open to it. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do this. And the hypnotist. I've had shows where afterwards they said, hey, Chris, you were good, but like they said that you were maybe tired. You didn't seem present. I was like, yeah, that was my 14th show in like 12 days. So I was in Idaho for that one. I remember that. That was the feedback. It's like, hey, Chris, they said you were very kind, but they said you were a little tired. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's the downside of being successful at anything. You don't get to be anything but successful.
Oh my God. I mean, I feel like success is this crazy fake thing that we all have in our minds that we all think we want. And the truth is, success isn't a great, like, it's just like everything else in life. Like, it's not actually this, ideal perfect thing. Like, in my mind, I'm going to be so successful and it's going to be awesome because I'll have all these opportunities and I won't have to deal with all these stresses of not being able to have these things and that's the time, and I feel like I just have all these limitations. But the truth is, the limitations just change.
Yeah.
Once you're famous, now it's not, I don't have enough money, it's everyone cares and everyone's always concerned with what I'm doing and I have to maintain this now. Now it's not about getting it, it's about maintaining it. And if you have nice things, you have to keep those nice things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's not really an end to it. And usually you just keep struggling upwards forever. That's kind of the story of life.
Do you read a lot of biographies?
No, but I should, because I've heard biographies are such like a wealth of information. It's one of those things where you can really learn so much from people's experience.
They can be. The only there's one hiccup is that everyone makes themselves seem amazing in the story of them.
Autobiographies, yeah.
Right. But I look at the arc of people. Like, how many professional boxers didn't go to jail? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they went to jail for the right reasons. But, like, Ali, he was facing jail time. He lost all of his money. They wouldn't let him fight. He was doing exhibitions. He regained the title, lost it again, regained it. Same thing with George Foreman. Got knocked out, became a minister. Won at like 40 plus years old. Like, it's unheard of. But I like these character arcs.
Yeah, and there's no comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah,
so
it is.
there's no true character arc for you. It doesn't exist. Like, again, we're the stories we tell ourselves. So I think if I put an endpoint in my story and I try to get there, that's good. And that's a good narrative to have. But at the same time, it's like, it's all a narrative. And there's not, if I'm comparing myself to someone else, well, then my narrative is completely, it's all relative, and now mine's not good enough. I think social media, I mean, there's even been studies where it's like younger women are more depressed and all these things because we're all scrolling and we're always comparing ourselves to everything now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's built in. Oh, I don't have as much likes as this guy. Oh, I'm not as popular as so-and-so. I truly, the truth is, none of that stuff's even real. Like, the follower counts don't really matter. Somebody has half as many followers as you, but 10 million as many friends. Like, they have so much more connection in the real world. It doesn't really matter. But it's just, we were built this way now. It's very odd,
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah. I don't know how to break out of it. Like, I think Because my problem is when I'm with people in the real world, like if I'm here with you right now, I have no urge to use my phone. I don't care.
Yeah.
But if as soon as you leave, now I just get sucked right in.
On my drive here, I was listening to you with Emma, which was episode 169.
Ball is life.
Bald is Life. It was a very good episode. I didn't finish it, but it's very good.
Thank you.
I didn't finish it because you came down to bring me up here. I was like, I was here early and I parked and I was like, I'm not going to tell him I'm here because I'm enjoying this conversation with him. I was enjoying listening to you and her. But her talking about going to Berlin, I was like, oh, that's cool. And like traveling and there's comedy everywhere. Do you have a passport yet?
No.
That will open so much to you. It might be $175. As a gift to me, please get yourself a passport.
Now, why do you say that?
I've been to 10 countries now, and I want to go to more countries where I don't speak the language to find out how insignificant I am.
Okay. Like a culture shock.
I want people to understand me. My whole life, I want people to understand me. I want to communicate with people. I went to Montreal, and most things are in French, but also in English. But the French you see first, and I was illiterate. And I was like, I don't like this feeling.
Yeah.
I haven't had this feeling in decades, not being able to read. But, I'll have to improve myself. I don't want this feeling.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So, I see. So what I always worry about going to another country is that, but then doing something that's culturally unacceptable, like something you can't do.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be worried about. I'd be worried about like keeping my shoes on when I go inside and all of a sudden I am Satan incarnate.
Good news. You make mistakes every day.
You think that would be fine?
You make mistakes every day.
Okay.
It's when someone tells you, hey, don't do that.
Okay.
And you like in Japan and the subways, you don't talk. If someone talks, you might get a side eye. If someone keeps a conversation, someone might say, we're silent here.
Really?
Yeah. But like you said, you're in someone's home. Oh, I didn't know you like shoes on, shoes off.
Of course.
It's how you approach someone's home.
Of course. It's a humbling thing, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting because as you say that to me, what's going through my mind is I am a disobedient person, but I also think, as I think that, well, that's exactly his point, Ruse, is to not be disobedient and to humble yourself. Because my mind, that's why I am so good at what I do. Because I don't listen to anyone else and I do what I want. That's exactly why. That's how I've gotten good at the things I do. Because people will tell you a million things. They'll tell you anything. So you just kind of have to tone out the right amount of things and just do your own thing in the end. But there's a balance to that. Because, yeah, you go to a different culture. Now you're in somebody else's house. Now it's a different story. And my mind has a natural conflict there. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. You're not allowed to in certain places. You can't do, what is it? It's not peace signs.
Thumbs up is
thumbs
up. Yeah, it's thumbs up your ass.
You can't do that.
It's all right. My boy went to France. Topher, nicest guy ever. Sweetest guy. He's there for study abroad in college. He's at a bar, and there's a woman, and so he's polite and he smiles at her, and she smacks him, he says. Yeah. And he goes, to his buddy, he was like, I just got smacked by this woman. So what did you do? He's like, well, she looked at me and I looked at her and I smiled. I was like, yeah, this kind of bar that's a little more aggressive. That's like saying you want to fuck.
Dude, that's crazy.
And it's completely not him.
No, but it's a cultural, it's an educational experience for him, is what it is. He is supposed to learn from that and not smile at women at the bar anymore.
Yeah,
that's it's really interesting to me, just because so I remember I think I took like a couple college classes, just like 2 or 3, and in one of them I learned about culture shock, and it really is an interesting phenomena because I mean it's basically a psychedelic experience. It's taking your brain and putting it in a completely foreign realm and then letting your brain just deal with it.
Yeah.
And just do your best.
Yeah.
Just do your very best.
me coming from the South Side, coming here, I was like, wait, which way is north again? Like, the numbers are gonna get bigger this way, or is south? Whatever.
Oh, you don't come to the north side often?
No. When you're on the south
you were at
side.
Lincoln Lodge. Just
I was
recently.
at Lincoln Lodge. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I am so happy that place let us have that thing.
What was it exactly?
It was magic, karaoke, and comedy.
Oh, so it's trifecta. Mm-hmm. See, now I'm going to set up a show. Yesterday, I was like, okay, I am seriously at the point now, because I've done this a couple times where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a show. I've produced shows before in my life, but never here in Chicago. And like now, where I'm at now, I know I have enough connections, all these things, I can make it happen easy. And so it's like, how do you blend comedy and other things? That becomes the question. Because obviously I want to have music, so music and comedy. But I mean, then there's other things, right? Like karaoke? Wow, look at you. How did you guys do it? Like, what was the order? Was everything just kind of blended together in a smorgasbord, or was there like a sequencing?
It was our first attempt. I have a great DJ and videographer named Calvin. I met him when he was in film school, and he can do anything behind the camera. Anything at all.
He's talented?
He's can't put into words how good he is.
Okay.
And he made a podcast called Soul Karaoke, where you have musical guests come on. They would have a meal together, talk about the meal. He'd be behind the desk the whole 9 yards, and they would perform Soul Karaoke. It was so dope.
Okay.
And I thought, all right. And I got a comedian friend, Brandon Taylor. I had him open for me on the road. Genuine guy. And that's my through line. If you're a genuine person, you treat the audience with the love you have, then I want to work with you. So I was like, all right, I got your comedy. I got your karaoke. Hypnosis turns some people off. But magic, people usually read into it in a positive sense. So that's how we build it. Magic, comedy, hypnosis. And we had a couple magicians come in, do some stage stuff. We had the comedians, and in between, there were musical games. So we could cleanse the palate with a little karaoke.
Okay. That's cleanse the palate.
Yeah.
So was it like people who just come up, like just random people who are participating, like watching the show? They just pick a song and go with
It's
karaoke?
funny. I don't remember his name, but he was on the podcast, one of your guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who? You don't remember who it was?
The things I remember, like his hair, he's a black guy with like dimples. Yeah, I'll have to.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could remember. It wasn't Laz. It couldn't have been Laz Patillo. It wasn't him, was it? Laz?
I don't know. Bigger black guy with like braids, big smile, dimples, very funny. Yeah, I'll have to. I don't remember, because I met him very briefly. But when you meet someone before the show versus after the show,
Yes.
you're able to retain so much more after the show because you're not stressed.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, I don't even talk to people before I perform. I sit there and just kind of wait.
Yeah.
And I always I feel like it makes me kind of look cool, but I'm not trying to do that. Because I feel like people look at me, they're like, oh, he's mysterious. He's not talking to anyone. That's not what's going on. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not going to venture from the pasture. I'm staying right here.
Yeah.
So when I go on stage, I'm still here. And, and then after... I'm after that, I'm all smiles. I feel like I won the room now. So I'm like,
yeah, 100%.
It's so different. I've never heard anyone say that, like put it into words, because I've experienced it so many times. Because that's exactly my approach. I don't even try to talk to people before. Really, I'll say hi if somebody's my friend, but I'm just kind of trying to chill. I don't want to get too involved in anything, because I feel like people distract you, and then all of a sudden now you're somewhere else. And especially if you're trying to go on stage. I imagine what you do, you have to be in a headspace. You have to kind of put yourself in the right spot. Like if you're in a bad mood, it's probably so much harder.
The hardest thing is TV.
Really? Like a TV in the background type of thing?
No, like doing something that's going to be on Windy City Live or on television.
Why?
Or Channel 9. All that stuff is just hard because you show up, you got to be there on time. You're like, what did I wear? Is this a good thing? And you finally get to meet the anchor or whatever. And they're like, so you're going to hypnotize me. I'm like, I'm going to try to. I don't know if it's going to work. It's like if you meet one person, you have to make them laugh.
Right.
Or one person, you have to dazzle with your rap.
Right.
Like,
So that's something I've noticed with, because I mean, so mentalists, hypnotists, all these people, if they show up to an interview or a podcast, that's always just it's like the elephant in the room. It's like, are they gonna do it?
have you followed mentalism? Because we can talk about that too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's kind of what got me in the entire rabbit hole. And to be completely honest,
please,
it was Oz mentioning you.
I saw it coming. Yeah, Oz on
shout out Oz.
That's my guy.
That's what put you in this room right now. Because I mean, it's so crazy. As soon as I heard him say it, I mean, him on Rogan was crazy, and that's. I mean, I'm an avid Rogan human. It's why I'm here doing what I do. Probably. I mean, like Joe Rogan is probably. I think it's the best podcast just because he has such a way of pulling things out of people, and he's also very honest, and I think that makes people honest. And so seeing someone like Oz on Joe Rogan is very interesting because if mentalism is fake, like people like to think, then why would someone like Joe Rogan play along with it for 3 hours? It just gets to a point where it's so ridiculous to even think it's fake.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who would have to be involved. It's like a grand conspiracy to think it's fake at a certain point. Because now everyone has to be involved. Every single person. Like Oz did something with John Cena too, where he, I can't remember what it was. He said that who are you thinking of that you're gonna have a conversation with? You're gonna have a conversation with somebody, and you're not looking forward to this conversation. I can see it in your eyes. Who's it gonna be? You're gonna tell me it is. And he said, I'm gonna be talking to Vince. Well, it got Vince written on his arm.
Yeah.
It's crazy. At a certain point, that can't be faked unless everyone's involved. And so with mentalism and all that, again, it just becomes something where I heard you say in one of these interviews you've done that you aren't a mentalist because you're too honest. Is that what it is? Which I thought was so funny.
Oh my God.
That's such a good way to put it. Like if you can do hypnosis, but you can't really lie, it would be so hard to be a mentalist. Because mentalism is all misdirection. It's all, at least that's the sell. I think a lot of it also is them selling you the idea that it's misdirection when actually what they're doing might be more practical than you realize.
Yeah, I think if people called mentalism misdirection magic, it would take some of the prestige away, but it would be more accurate, I feel.
Yes.
Misdirection magic, that's mentalism. Because I can show you a deck of cards and say, pick a card. And then I find it. It's a good magic trick. I could go, here, take a card. But before you take it, I have a duplicate right here. I can see the future. And it matches. I saw the future. Now I could go, take a card, look at it. There's no mirrors. Hold it against your chest. I know what it is. And it's the same trick.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same trick.
I mean, one thing I think I've heard Oz say is when he watches other mentalists, what's impressive isn't doing one trick. It's when you stack them and you layer them and you start to do multiple things at once.
His Joe Rogan was a masterclass. I'm not saying that because he's my friend. I've told this to other mentalists and other performers and magicians. He went into what could have been a very hostile environment. And Joe Rogan was like, all right, he's a fucking witch. He's a fucking alien. He's not of this planet. Okay, dude. Because he went and he got your bank coat. He's like, well, the bank gave me that. It's like, well, fuck. Yeah. I'll tell you your social. Yeah, well, the government gave me that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What can I do? What can I do?
Well, what I say when I'm explaining that to people is what I think is truly crazy, because there's all these sleight of hand things. There's all these things you can do. So I think you can explain lots of things. But how do you explain at the very end when Joe is holding the envelope? He's saying to Joe, think of anybody from history, past, and then the whole setup was this envelope is your past, your present, your future, which is also just a great setup in general. But this is the future. This is him predicting the future. Joe, I know what you're thinking of. I know a name you're thinking of, because think of a name. And this is another thing that mentalists do, and I was reading about this. I think what it is when you say, if I'm to say to you, I want you to think of a person. Now, whatever person you're thinking of, don't think of that person. I think it's actually more interesting if you think of the second person. I like to do this where people think of the second person rather than the first person, because that's always a better one. Or you even let them say the first person first, and then you do the second person. I think it's almost a trick. Like you're actually guiding them closer to where you want them to go. It actually heightens the odds of them saying what you want them to say by getting them to say the second one. But it seems like it's not. I think there's some mental trick that happens there where, and again, this stuff is so crazy because it's no matter what, they are doing something amazing. But there's got to be some, like, it seems more random, but it's actually not as random because of the false sense of selection. And so then, he gets Joe to say Muhammad Ali. I forget the first person Joe said. And then who's in the envelope? Muhammad Ali. Joe's holding the envelope the whole time. And so it's not like their picture could have printed within a second. That couldn't have happened. He had to have been holding a picture of Muhammad Ali. Even if Oz had placed a picture of Muhammad Ali in the envelope before he gave it to Joe, he still would have already placed the name in Joe's head at some point, because there's no way he could have gotten it in there in the moment from when he said the name to when he pulled out the picture. And so things like that are just, you can say whatever you want about a PIN code, but how do you put a name in someone's head? And Oz does that over and over. One thing that's crazy about it is how he'll do it with niche things. Like if I'm going to go to a football team and do that, now I have to know a bunch of football players. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, magicians do not know football. Exactly. Magicians are not, they're some of the least athletic people. But Oz is special because he's an ultra marathoner. He's tough. He's faster than I am. Like I tattooed this marathon dream, and I heard him say his record is 2:18 or something. It was 2 hours. I think it's 2:22. He has a Chicago record. 2:22. So in the lakefront, there's a 50-mile race, and he has the record for that currently. That is crazy. He averaged 6-minute miles. 6-minute miles for 50 miles. Oh my God. Which, one, impressive. Two, I love the lakefront, but that's kind of boring. Like, you got to do that, I don't know, 4 times? Like, F that. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. For 6-minute miles? For 50 miles? I don't even understand. I went running with him in New York, and he's a different breed, and I knew this immediately because when we're running, he doesn't stop. Literally. Well, this is when you guys met, right? This was the first thing. This is your first impression of him. Through New York City, weaving through taxis. Like, nah, if we're running for 90 minutes, we're running for 90 minutes. I heard you say that, like, you guys are at a stoplight, and it's like he's jumping up and down. We're gonna change directions. We're gonna go somewhere else. And it's not like, it's not like, oh, I'm just jumping up and down, keeping my heart rate. He's cutting left and right and going around things like, oh, we're turning left. I was like, I don't know where we are, man. And he's like, you're running next to me. It's like, yeah, I am. I'm trying to. He was not going to slow down for you. He has slowed down for me. Like he heard my breath. He's a hard-working guy. That's funny. He probably was holding back even through all that. Oh, 100. He's like, your heart rate is pounding. I hear you breathing. Yeah. If you need to slow down, slow down. It's like, I will. He's like, just say you slow down. He's giving me financial advice. I'm like, please, just keep talking about all this advice. But I can't go any faster. How did you guys meet? What was the context? We were on AGT together. Oh, that's what it was. But before that, when I was in college, he sold magic tricks, instant downloads through Penguin Magic. That's what I've heard. He's been around since like the 2000s. He's been around forever. And early 2000s. Then is like short haircut, t-shirt, kind of baggy pants, teaching people how to do card tricks. Good card tricks and all these effects. And then he made a DVD, and I bought that DVD. It was really good. So when I was on AGT, and I saw that he was on the same, series, episode, whatever, I was like, hey, man, Facebook, whatever, just want you to know I'm a fan. Good luck as we're in this thing together. And then when I got cut, and they're like, you can't know who cut, you can't know who's in. I'm like, hey, Oz, heard you made it to the next round. And he goes, who told you I made it to the next round? I'm like, you just did. Boom. Fool the mentalist. He's like, well, don't tell anyone. I'm like, I won't. That's so good. Fool the mentalist. Who told you? You just did. It's like, it's like a cop trick. Why did you steal it? Who told you I stole it?
Yeah. You want to know how I know you stole it?
Want to know how I know? Yeah. That is hilarious. Well, good for you. And then that's a good first impression or second impression, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I think there's, again, it's like one of those things where, for one, mentalism's not even a giant field. The reason it kind of took me down a rabbit hole, too, is because mentalism's not a big field. There's only a few people who really stick out, and Darren Brown is like the OG. And I remember hearing about him when I was like 13 and just not even thinking it could be, like, if it was real, it doesn't even make sense. And then seeing, it's just reignited that whole flame in my mind again.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where, like, I even think like psychedelics are like this, where there's just certain experiences you'll have in life where everything just kind of proves it's so much. It's almost like a proof of the simulation. There's just certain things that just seem beyond your regular perception. And I think mentalism and hypnosis are just such good examples to show a practical person. Like, look, people, these are normal people, and they're being taken, their minds are clearly being overridden to some extent. And the question is how? And like the question is, to what extent do you understand reality at all times? Because that's what this brings into question to me. You know, one thing I was reading about when I was learning about like I was trying to think about like the science of mentalism and how you would even do that. And it was like a study from the 70s. It was when they were just starting to figure out linguistics and how if I introduce a bunch of words to you and I contextualize the words, I say the first word is arm. And then I say body parts. And then I give you a bunch of scrambled letters. You're going to understand what the words are faster if they align with what I gave you. But if it doesn't align with it, you'll get it right, but it'll take you longer. And so that's just so interesting because your brain is constantly contextualizing everything all the time. And it's why AI is kind of interesting now, because now you have a linguistically programmed machine who only thinks in linguistics. It's only thinking, but it is kind of modeled on the same way your brain thinks about words. It's all context. It's all based on what you give your brain. And then mentalism proves that 100%. Because, I mean, how else? How else are you planting seeds? What's going on?
Yeah. There's secrets with mentalism. I'm going to be specifically vague now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny. There's so many magicians, myself included, who love David Blaine. Like, we're all trying to be David Blaine. I remember when he came out, I was in like 6th, 7th grade when he had the special David Blaine Street Magic. And it's him just walking up and down doing magic for people with a camera. But he had that desire to shoot a special, have it be on network TV, and be bigger than Houdini, like he told his friends. And I heard this story that he's in New York and he's trying to get TV people to have a meeting with him. So he would go to the lobby of like CBS or whoever, NBC, and sit in the lobby and say, "Hey, I'm David Blaine, I want to talk." He's like, "Oh, well, they're in a meeting." He's like, "I'll wait." And he would just sit and wait all day. He'd do that 5 times in a week. And they're like, "We have this guy here, he's doing tricks for people. He seems a little different, a little off, but harmless. Bring him upstairs." And he floored him. Yeah. I got to meet David Blaine once. He did a show in Indiana. I drove with another magician friend, Dave Originality, to see him. And he's meeting people before the show, signing autographs, taking photos. And I wait because I want to say something meaningful to him. I'm like the last person to get a photo. And I go, "Can I get a photo?" He goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "You kind of look like Drake."
David Blaine said that to you.
Yeah, I was like,
By the way, not a bad David Blaine impression.
Thank you. Yeah. Like I said,
I don't think I've ever heard anyone's David Blaine before, except that one College Humor video, if you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly. Yeah, that's Mikey Day on SNL.
Hell yeah.
A young Mikey Day.
Wow, I never connected those dots.
Yeah, Cheez-It. Stop putting cheeses on. And he's another Mikey Day. In a podcast, he talks about, like, he went to a theater arts performing high school, I believe. But, like, for Halloween, he'd go all out, like, super costumes, and he's like, this is a sign that this kid, one, needs attention and has to be creative.
Yeah.
I don't lean all the way there. I do want to be creative. I do want to have fun. But, yeah.
I mean, what do you think it is in your personality that like draws you to hypnosis? Like, how do you like what do you think that? Because I mean, everybody. It's kind of like when you ask somebody like, why do you do what you do? You're like, what? Why? That's one thing I like not what do you like about it, but why do you do it? Like, why do you keep doing it? Like, what draws you to hypnosis? What do you love so much about it?
I like that I always get to meet new people.
Yeah.
My goal, if I'm working with someone with a problem, is I want to see you at the most 3 times, and then we can just be friends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see you and deal with your problem 5 times. No. Mm. It's in my best interest for like, all right, let's meet twice. Good news, you're no longer smoking cigarettes. Go tell more people. And you're just being my email folder of friends.
And why is that, though?
I think I just like meeting new people all the time.
Yeah, that's why I do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I even have a rule where it's like I will not repeat a guest for 30 to 50 episodes. I'd rather 50 just because I've gotten on this pace now. But like, it's just, if I were to just bring the same people on all the time, then it just becomes nothing new. It's the same show. But it's always fun to have friends back on. Like, I'll always bring people back on. But then it kind of becomes something else. And like, I think like following that Joe Rogan template, like I think that what makes Joe Rogan so interesting is he never ever did that, ever. There was never a moment where it became like him and just his friends. At the very beginning, that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
But like as soon as he started really branching out, it never ends. It's just always different people. And I think that's such a good template for something like this because there's so much space to explore. And I just love hearing people who are hyper fixated and on a specific thing. No matter who it is, they could tell you something you don't know, and it's just a rule of life. Like, you know so much more about a certain given topic than I'm gonna know. Like, you know about hypnosis. You don't know about rap like I would know about rap. You don't piece together sentences in a hip-hop song like I would.
No.
So there's so much you can learn from everybody is what I'm saying. And it's just endless.
I know how to change diapers. That is a skill.
You could tell me exactly how to change a diaper. Mm-hmm. And I would write everything down. I'd probably forget, but I would hit you up in about 10 years.
I could do it probably in 2 minutes depending on the load.
Depending on the load is like, a big asterisk.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to say that, yeah, like, I think that if you were to ask me what my ultimate goal is in life, mm-hmm. I've realized that like my ultimate goal is to affect as many people as possible, and ultimately in a positive way, of course. But like, you can't predict how you're going to affect people. True. I think it's about making as big of a difference as you can and having good intentions behind that along the way, because people are going to misinterpret you and they're going to get you wrong. But it's like, if you put yourself out there and you do your best and you really have genuine intent to change things, and or at least to do something, you know, I really think it just, you get what you give. And in my mind, I've never felt more gratification than when I've done things where I've included people or where I've gotten genuine feedback, which only came through genuinely involving myself in something, you know, like mm-hmm. It's such a give and take thing. And then the ultimate thing of that is not fame. It is, I don't even want to say influence, but it's like, it's that connection that you can have, you know. If a tree falls in the woods, you don't see it fall, you don't know it fell. So it's like, how many people can you affect in one lifetime? Because if I just try to affect people and I can't get there, well, then I just can't get there. And so it's constantly trying to just get more and more people within. I'm fishing with the net, not a hook. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to pull everybody in, and I'm constantly trying to figure out like, how can I just expand? Because I think expanding my scope expands the scope of that. I think it all goes hand in hand. You know, the more people I meet, the more I do in life, just the more and more it all comes together into one giant thing.
Have you been to a therapist? Have you been to therapy?
No. Once or a little bit, a long time ago. I think therapy is good, and I think therapy is very valuable. But in my mind, therapy is one kind of a gamble because you never know who you're going to get, if you're going to mesh well. And so that's kind of, I think it gives it a bad rep because a lot of people have a bad experience.
But also, it's like, I think that I put myself in therapeutic settings. So I feel secure, I think. But I don't think therapy would be bad. I just don't think, I've never really felt like, oh, I should probably do that. Have you ever go to therapy?
Yeah, definitely. Twice a week. I do a Zoom conversation with a therapist.
Do you feel like you feel like it's spiritually fulfilling?
That's a good question. Spiritually fulfilling. It's kind of like a shower for your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I'll go there and I'm like, yeah, everything's great. And I'm just sitting there and I talk. And we get 45 minutes because that's what insurance will cover. It's not based on how much needs you have. It's like how good your insurance is. But towards the end, I'm like, oh, hey, I actually do have to talk about something important. If I could go back in time, I would have started going to therapy like in college. Because I remember going to a counseling office. But I remember telling the lady like, hey, I'm not crazy. And me being very afraid someone's going to think that I'm crazy. Like, I don't have a problem. My family has a problem. I have this, and I have this, and I have this at home. So I might talk to someone about that. Like, all right. And it was obvious that I wasn't ready to have those conversations because I never actually scheduled an appointment. But there are no perfect people, and this world isn't perfect. And you never know what you're going to go into any given day. So as we try to relate to other human beings, there'll be communication, miscommunication, and having a therapist, just another person, helps you with those situations.
I think therapy, if I were to try to break it down in simple terms, I think what a therapist can do best is point out patterns in yourself that you can't see.
Fair.
Because, like, if I'm just going to give you a stream of consciousness, and I'm just going to talk, like, sometimes that's what therapy is. It's just letting you do your stream of consciousness, and then we're done. Because I think even that is therapeutic, just to be able to share with someone. And so I think they let you do that, and then the best thing they could probably do is not even give you too much input other than, well, don't you see you're doing this, right? And then the light bulb goes off in your mind, and now you see you're doing it and you can't unsee it, you know? Because, I mean, really, a therapist, I think if they have too much of their own narrative, then you kind of get in this weird spot. And I think that's where a lot of those stories come from, those horror stories. I've heard people say, like, you know, my therapist was literally bragging to me. Like they had a therapist who would brag about their car.
Wow.
Which is wild. But I mean, like, yeah, a good therapeutic experience, there's nothing that compares to that, you know, because it makes you realize, like, you have all these patterns and all these things built up in your brain.
Right.
And we all do.
Right. You know, you have to see the dentist. You just do it twice a year. You got to brush your teeth twice a day, all right? And the dentist reminds you, hey, you got to floss. And you're like, I don't like flossing. My teeth bleed. Your teeth bleed because you're not flossing, all right? So you got to floss. And then the dentist will say something like, floss the ones you want to keep. Oh, well, then you find yourself flossing all of them. Mm-hmm. Right? The therapist says, so your sibling has this issue, and your dad's this, and your mom is gone now. Where do you fit in the equation? And that's been part of my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the figuring out your role in that.
Because you're 27. We're both May people. We're both entertainers. We both enjoy the spotlight. And we're both cautious about hurting people's feelings.
Okay.
Like, before we started, I was like, tell me about the love life. And you're like, what is? And I was like, dude, I get it. Married 6 years now, but I met my wife on Tinder. And one of those things, like, I don't want to offend. Like, how do I? Because if I offend someone and they go, as the world continues, they're going to think I'm a bad person. They'll tell their friends I'm a bad person. Sometimes you suck as a person.
Yeah.
Not you, me. Sometimes you're just not great as a person. You do your best until you know better, then you try and do better. But I'm guilty of it, and that's why I wish college me, 18-year-old young man me, had a hypnotist.
I heard the quote once, you did your best with the information you had at the time. And I think that's a good way to look at your mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Because you know now, like you know better, and so just the fact that you even know better is a step in the right direction, because before you didn't, and that's why it was a mistake. Like you don't have that same mentality. Yeah. And I think like maturing is something you're always doing. You know, there's not a point where you stop growing up. You know, you could be a kid at 35, you could be a kid at 46. It's all a matter of like, it's all a matter of perspective, I suppose. Like, and I think that like, I don't know, it's just an interesting thing. I think it's kind of where you get the idea of like an old soul, right? Like some people just never really, they always kind of have this certain wisdom about them, this certain sense of assurance. And it's something you'll notice, you know, when you just look around at, and most people don't have it. I wouldn't expect most people to have it. I think it's really interesting. It's just a really interesting thing to see people who never really, and I don't think there's a real makeup for it. I don't think there's a certain way to make that type of person. It's almost like a nature versus nurture thing at a certain point. Like, what does it take to make someone who's just mature and wise from 6 years old onward? Like, where does that start, you know? And not everybody's perfect. Like, there's always room to improve. But just some people never really have this big phase of, like, I think the worst I ever really got in terms of, like, behavior and, like, just, I think, like, getting in a bad headspace where I would have needed therapy would probably be around like 8th grade, 9th grade, because I went through
hard.
Yeah, exactly.
In general, that's hard.
Exactly.
Sorry, I cut you off.
For everybody. Yeah, no, you're right though. It's a good interruption because it's hard for everybody. I mean, any kid Bo Burnham made a great movie about that. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
I've seen the trailer, like having it all and still being unhappy.
Yeah, and it's a movie specifically about the experience of being in high school. And so I feel like that's a bad time. I mean, it's a common time to go through that type of experience, but it's also the highs are very high and the lows are very low. And I think it was all based on a breakup. There was a girl who I loved and we broke up.
Oh my God.
And I was very, very depressed. I was so depressed. And so it's just like, it's interesting. It's interesting how we go through those things. Because looking back on that, I'm just like, oh my God. But I probably had to go through that. It probably contributed to my emotional development as a person and all this, you know. That's another reason I don't know if I have to go to therapy, because I feel like I'm constantly evaluating everything. Like if I were to guess, I would say that all that stuff's probably important and you can't really take it out of the person. I could never take back any of those experiences, you know. Even if I wanted to, even if I was like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. I mean, it makes you exactly who you are.
My wife wouldn't marry me until I had a therapist.
Wow. Did she say that to you directly?
She said, if we're moving forward, you have to get a therapist. And I was like, okay. And then as we were like, I think even planning the wedding, she's like, so I'll find you a therapist. You need to go. And I had to sit on the couch and have those conversations of, like in the movie Old School, Frank the Tank is like, I love my wife, but I see a woman walk by and I think, oh, what kind of underwear does she have on? And maybe they're panties. And he just goes off there. I was like, wait, I thought this was a safe place. It's like, no, it is a safe place. The therapist taught me, like, it's fine to be attracted to people. It's what you do with those feelings. Like, yeah, you're going to see people that are attractive in this world. You just going to get married and everyone's an ugly person? No. You'll find attractive people. You'll find people attractive. But you'll also have this tool where you can fast forward your life and say, all right, if I make this choice, what does my world then look like? Or if I make this choice. So that was a cool thing that she gave me before I got married. You can fast forward your life a little bit. Say, if I do this, take a moment. What are the consequences? I don't want that. So there's no, like I quit drinking alcohol after getting arrested in South Dakota. And I think going to a therapist and then having handcuffs on me and being alone and maxing out my credit card in South Dakota where everyone was drinking at my show. Everyone was drinking, and I get arrested after a U-turn. And he's like, you drink? And I'm like, I've had 3 drinks in 3 hours and spent the night in the Sturgis jail before doing a show for a post-prom as an alcohol alternative. The world won't be equal. It won't be. I used to think, oh, everything should be equal. Equal is not equity. I can't live my life like an average American and do what average Americans do, because there's really no average American. These folks can drink and they have home field advantage. If I have a couple and a police officer sees me with out-of-state plates, well, we got to keep the town in business. We need the revenue. I do have a quota as an officer. I have to make so many arrests. Well, I'm going to jail. All right.
Yeah.
It's not a racial thing that day. It was out-of-state plates. You admitted that you were drinking after investigation. And then the last kicker, as I'm taking the taxi back from the jail into town, my taxi driver tells me that he lost his son on an overdose. So again, how much can I complain? It's like, shit, I gotta come back to South Dakota to me in front of a judge facing a DUI. And he's like, my son was the big, strongest guy in school, overdosed, and I never get to see my son again.
And so that made you not want to drink, that whole experience?
Yeah, it was. I can be angry about being an out-of-state person, getting arrested, hitting their quota of so many arrests, or I can realize that if I keep drinking, I could overdose.
Right.
I could keep drinking, I could hurt someone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a great thought exercise is think about what you would be in 10 years from now if you kept following your worst patterns. If you kept doing the worst things that you do right now, where do you end up in 10 years? That's another good way to fast forward, because immediately it makes you evaluate like all of the things that you don't like about yourself. Like, what do I do that I don't approve of? And then what if I did that forever? You know? And
I heard you say the opposite. See the best results that you're doing. And what would your life look like if you do the absolute best that you can every day for 10 years? Where would you be? I've heard you say that. It's a very good thought exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, if you do the opposite, it's oh my gosh, you can't even imagine. I really think it's like happiness and success and all these things, like exponential. I think you really can't even imagine where it goes. But it's all about switching the direction of the boat and actually heading that way. You know?
That's great. I'm going to hold on to that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, well, because I mean, it's just, there's so many times in life where I think it's hard to forget where you're at now, you know, like to place that. Because I mean, you don't, like you were saying before, you don't have to go and do all these shows and undervalue yourself and all that. You're not there anymore.
No.
But you were there for so long.
And here's the thing. I stopped sleeping in my car because my wife's like, I don't like when you sleep in the car. She doesn't like the idea that someone could show up and hurt me. Right?
Right.
But if she didn't say that, I would still choose sleeping in my car for a few hours versus booking a hotel. Like, I'm not financially independent. I have to gig and make money this way. I don't sell anything. I was so afraid of being a hypnotist who's like, here's a weight loss CD and them being fat, or here's a quit smoking CD and them smoking cigarettes. I didn't want to be, I want to be as authentic as possible. So I didn't sell anything for years and years. So do I have piles of money stacked up? Hell no.
Right.
Do I have debt? Hell yes. But I got a healthy daughter, and my wife loves me a lot, and one on the way. And my champagne problem is, do we buy a bigger house that I can't quite afford?
Yeah.
But I take inspiration from you, honest to goodness. I told my wife this last night. I saw even the ad you had for Robinhood. Like, click in the link below, get a free stock, Robinhood. I like Robinhood. I need to do stuff like that. I need to tell people, like Liquid Death. I like Liquid Death.
Yeah.
I like holding this in a party
Did you notice I have the label facing the camera?
I like holding this at a party and then no one's like, hey, do you want a drink? Or it's a conversation starter. Oh, what is that? I've seen that can. I just haven't tried it. Oh, yeah, it's sparkling water. I quit drinking.
Yeah.
South Dakota. It'll get you every time.
I'm terrible at advertising. I mean, I'm glad to hear you say that. You take inspiration from that because I think like I'm bad at advertising myself even, or like what I need to do more because is yeah, you got the ad there, but I need to reach out to even more brands and stuff like this. It's just, it's oh my God, it's such a headache just doing anything in this world nowadays. Because it's like, not only are you the guy who's doing the thing, you're the guy who has to do all the other things. Like, I don't know if you have a manager who would reach out to brands for you, but that's what you ideally have, is somebody who's going to do it for you. Because it's such a headache to even conceptualize, like, okay, so what's my demographic? What do I like? Like I did say what you just said is smart, because that's what a good friend of mine, Crackalack, suggested to me once. He said, like, if you're going to advertise on the show, do things that relate to you that you already like.
Yeah.
Liquid Death, perfect. I got a banana right here. I love bananas. We can have bananas as a sponsor. I mean, what's that popular banana brand? Chiquita? Is that it?
I don't know why they need a sticker on every fucking banana.
Right.
I get it. But you don't need a sticker on every fucking banana. That one doesn't have one.
It doesn't, but I took it out of a bunch that did. So
just give me the banana.
You're just gonna weigh it and give it to me. They never actually even scan the bananas half the time. They usually type in a code.
My thing is 7-Eleven is my go-to. If I see a 7-Eleven, we're gonna get the Liquid Death. I'm gonna get 2 bananas. And that's a typical meal sometimes.
That's a whole meal.
It's $6, but it's a good meal.
I really think 2 bananas is actually kind of... Oh, you gotta go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
You're good. 2 bananas is filling. For the record. And we're back. I've got this man with cards right here. Oh my gosh. You hear that?
That's good.
Do it right in front of the mic for me.
That's good stuff.
That's some ASMR.
All right. So people watching, if I ask you to think about a card, people watching, they're going to think of the Ace of Spades. That's very common. So if they're not thinking about the Ace of Spades, they're thinking about the Queen of Hearts. Are you thinking about a card right now? Yes or no?
Not yet.
Not the Joker.
Not the Joker. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I got one.
Say your card out loud.
8 diamond. 8 of diamonds.
Are you much of a card player?
Not really, no.
So go through.
All right, I'm looking at all the cards.
You have the 8 of diamonds.
Where is it at in here? I'm trying to find it. Where are we at? Let's see. 8 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. Oh, there it is. Yep, I got it.
Choose one, right or left of the 8 of diamonds. Just don't say it, okay?
Right or left of the 8 of diamonds. Let me shuffle it up again. And I'll get right or left. Okay, I got it.
Cool. So we're going to take that one out.
Okay. Should I show it to the camera?
You show it to the camera. We can go trade. I'll peek one, so you don't know mine.
Okay. Let me get
and
this
we're going to
thing
trade.
properly.
Keep it nice and low. Your card from my card.
I'm trading your card.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now don't look at mine. Put it in the middle.
In the middle.
All right?
Okay.
So you have my card in your pile.
Yeah.
I have your card in mine. Now your job is try and find mine. And I'm trying to find yours. Give it a mix. Give it a mix.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to shuffle this thing around. I'm going to find your card.
Yeah, don't say it.
Okay, all right.
But when you feel like you got a hunch.
Okay, all right. I'm confident.
All right, I'll put some away.
Pick a card out of this pile. I'm definitely going to get your card.
No. Really look at it. Like, look at it.
So you want me to go through the cards and pick one? I'm not just going to pick a random one.
Yeah, think about, all right, I sat in this room with this guy for an hour.
Okay, what would he pick?
What would he pick? He already got rid of the Joker and the Ace of Spades and the Queen of Hearts. He knew that I was thinking of the 8 of diamonds, so what card did Chris Jones pick?
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah,
Right,
I got
pull
it.
Out. Put it face down. Perfect. Make sure that's it's not a magic trick, but that truly is the one you think, right?
Yeah, I think it's the one you would pick.
All right, we'll get rid of the rest
I
of
thought
those.
we were dapping.
We can we can dap. Yeah. Was this your card? Take a look.
Yes, this was my card. That was my card. That was my card, yeah.
The nice thing is, the one that I picked, even at the top, I threw you off. I said Ace of Spades or thinking Queen of Hearts. I would pick the Queen of Hearts as well.
The one that you picked?
Yeah.
The one that's right here.
Yeah. Is that the Queen of Hearts?
The 9 of Hearts.
Oh, biscuits.
It's the 9 of Hearts.
Oh, biscuits.
Oh, biscuits.
Good effort. Good effort.
You got me, though.
Yeah.
You got my card, though.
Yeah.
I don't, like,
And that's
okay.
why I stick with hypnosis.
This is the first 3 years of his stage career you just saw.
Oh, God. Yeah, yeah. This would not get the tips on the street.
That's really funny, because right before you were about to do it, I was going to say, I didn't know you still did this anymore. But I thought, nah, I'll keep that off camera. I'll just let him go. I don't blame you, though. It's difficult. Let me just tell you, I'm very impressed you got my card. I'm trying to figure out how you did that, because I really feel like I picked this pretty randomly. And I watch magic cards. I watch card tricks on YouTube. Yeah. I've seen this a million times. I've never had someone pull this on me, so I'm really trying to figure out how you did that. But let's go again. You want to go again? Let's go again.
On the side of the deck whenever you want. You'll say stop. There's a little reflection here, but I'm not looking. All right?
So anyone on the side of the deck. You're not looking. You're looking over there.
Yeah.
Let me make sure there's no mirrors over here. You're not. I'm watching your eyes now. Yeah. I'm gonna pick one.
Mm-hmm. System. Perfect.
All right. Yeah.
Take a look.
I'm gonna look at the card.
Yep.
I'm watching you, Magic Man.
Cool.
All right.
We'll put it. This is a trick. You put it back on top.
Okay.
And the camera got it, but I don't have it. There it is. Really, truly. This is. I don't ever perform sitting down. So this is. I know your card, and it's not the King of Spades. I can change it into the 8 of Diamonds, which is your card that I know.
Motherfucker. You motherfucker. What the hell? Hang on. What the hell? No way.
Say stop again when you like.
Okay.
Perfect.
Am I supposed to put my finger in there? Is that fine? Because that's kind of what I was stopping you. I just stuck my finger in.
Take a look. Yeah, go ahead. All
okay.
Right. There it is. Couldn't be more fair. Like you've shuffled this deck. I'll take it back. This time, if I see it, it doesn't matter. The 10 of Diamonds. You'll push the 10 of Diamonds in, because I then can't do any sleight of hand. Push it in all the way. Go ahead.
Okay, it's in all the way. I'm holding the deck now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the fuck? God damn it.
And that's why magic is fun, everybody. My buddy Wes Barker, he says you can fake at a comedy show with applause, but like laughter, you can't. It's much harder to fake laughter.
I mean, again, I have to caveat this with I've never had this done to me before. I'm a little overwhelmed. Because truly, I mean, you must... I think I've heard David Blaine explain why he loves magic. And what he always says is it's the joy you can bring out of any person. You can really... You can have a prison...
Oh, yeah.
You can have literally... You can walk into a prison and just do a bunch of magic tricks. And all of a sudden, you win over this room and they love you.
Best show I've ever done.
Such a strange thing.
It was a youth jail in Carbondale, Illinois, and it was Christmas morning, and I performed for these kids. And I'll tell you the trick. I have someone write something down, and then I have to peek at it so I know what that word is. So the routine is, I'm going to give you $10,000. You can buy whatever you want, man. Write whatever you want. Write it there. Fold it up so I can't see it. I go, all right, you think about what he's thinking about, all right? See if you can guess. I see it. I know what the word is. I give it back to him, and I go, what do you think is the word? And the kid says, freedom. And I knew that was the word. Like, he legitimately guessed. But then I just let it breathe. And I go, you two can't be more different. I don't care why you're here. Doesn't matter to me. but you two are here right now. Two very different people sharing this holiday. What did you write down? He's like, freedom. And the whole room was just like, what? So it was real magic.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's something that's very simple. It doesn't need much explanation. I think magicians, when I looked up professional mind blower to make this shirt, the only other person I've seen use this moniker was a magician.
Yeah.
And he just it looked like he didn't do much with it. So I was like, I guess I can use this. But I would say magicians and people of this ilk are true professional mind blowers. I would say that truly.
Yeah.
I think there's something about you're even if things can be explained, it's the fact that there's a certain method to getting someone along the way, like getting them to follow whatever it is. Like card magic in particular, there's so many layers to it. And I've heard David Blaine, when he was on Joe Rogan, he's just shuffling a deck of cards the whole time. And I guess he does that all day, every day.
That's probably him.
Which is just crazy to think about. And he was saying on there, he's not even, in his mind, he's not a great card magician. There's other people who are better.
Yeah, correct. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
He's very, very, very good. But, there are people who get locked up for 12 years and all they do is a second deal.
Yeah.
Or all they do is a double lift or this one mechanic, so it's practically invisible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Taylor Swift a great musician? I don't know, but she has talent. She is great. But I'm sure she's like, oh no, these people make real songs and perform there's always a higher level.
Always, yeah. I mean, and there's always people that these people you look up to, right?
Yeah.
You think this person's great, but really what you should be looking at is who they look up to, because that's even more core to what makes them who they are. It's crazy. The levels to which things go. Yeah. I mean, and I think with card magic too, card magic always makes me think about, because it's very, even if it's a rigged deck, it's a matter of perception now. Because if you're able to perceive which card it is, and I can't distinguish which card it is, now that's the magic trick. I think even, you lose a certain amount of fun when you explain things, but I think that's, there's so much breaking down you can do with magic, and I think the fun part is you don't even... you don't ruin it by... there's videos in the internet where they'll literally straight up show you how they're doing stuff. Don't do that. That's just... Come on now. But I mean, at a certain point, it's the level to which you can play with people, I think, that's so interesting about it to me. It doesn't really matter whether or not it's real. That's what's important. It doesn't matter. It matters that you can't figure it out. It matters that if you sat here for the next 5 or 10 minutes... you still probably couldn't tell me exactly how I did what I just did. And that, to me, that's what's fun. That's why mentalism, again, is so interesting. Yeah, there's probably a practical explanation. There's a secret to it, of course. But what is it? And we could just sit here and talk about it forever. And, you probably know a lot more than me. I'll say that much.
I saw Darren Brown twice live. I saw him the first time live, and I thought it was just spectacular. The second time I saw him, I was in the balcony area. First time I was front row seat. Second time I was in the balcony next to a guy who's seen the show, who's from the UK, and he's telling me how things are done. I'm like, oh, I don't think it's done that way. He's like, it's absolutely done this way. And I watch. He's like, so you watch the thing? And I was like,
oh, really? He knew?
Oh, snaps.
No way.
This guy, yeah.
Just a random audience member?
Yeah, he's like, I've seen the show. I've seen it enough times.
Because I've heard Darren Brown say that there's some people who will come up to him in certain countries and they'll just have it figured out. I think Joe asked him, do people ever know exactly what you're doing? And that's what he said is, yeah, of course. Some every now and then somebody will come up, and if they're exactly right, usually I'll tell them, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But that's crazy to get it just right.
This is a trick deck.
It is a trick deck. Okay. So
I can do. It's funny. The trick that failed, it's possible with a trick deck. This trick deck. But if you give me a regular deck, I could do the exact same card to mouth.
Card to mouth?
Yeah, just...
on a regular deck.
Yeah, there's the card, now it's in my mouth.
Well, you established at the very beginning with that one, we can know your card. So I guess that's a big difference, right? Because if we can all know your card, you could do that with any deck for sure. If everybody knows your card and you pick a card, everybody knows, including me. Because it's the prediction of the card. I mean, I'm looking at these 2 cards. What? It's an 8 of diamonds, which is the card, I think it was my card. And then we got the King of Spades. And I'm trying to look at it and distinguish the difference between these 2 cards. It's a cohort deck. So I know there's probably levels to these decks even. Of course there is. There's probably expensive decks. There's probably decks that are harder to read than others. I can't find it. It's got to be so fucking specific. Because you can find it.
Well, I can turn your regular deck into a trick deck as well.
You could?
Yeah. Little scissor, a little pencil eraser. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. So you can transform a deck.
Yeah. If I want
I can't find
to
it.
cheat in cards, you just give me a pencil and I'll just erase a little bubble. And then I know I found the ace on this corner and this corner, for example. Mm-hmm. If I make a short card, kind of like a bookmark, and cut a little bit out of here, and then you find the short card easily.
Yeah. Now, would there ever be a trick where not only am I doing that, but in the moment I'm doing that? Like I take the card and...
Yeah. If you're maybe not a trick, but more like gambling.
Wow. Right. Because if you did that at a casino or something, you had tiny baby scissors. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Or magicians, people who want to win, they'll do anything. It's like crack, you know. You have a fake fingertip and put a little mark on the back of the card.
So, I mean, that's something that I always think about when it comes to any of these magic powers that you guys have. Is do you ever like find yourself accidentally hypnotizing people or maybe using hypnosis in your life in ways that you look back on, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have used it for that?
I'm sure there have been cases. I can tell you case studies of other people for sure.
Well, because it's such I mean, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Right. I remember my first radio interview was with this guy named Bob, and he's like, do you ever use, similar question, like hypnosis, like on a woman? I'm like, well, half the audience is usually female. He's like, no, you know what I mean, like on a date. And I'm like, well, yes, no, maybe. He's like, what kind of answer is that? I go, charisma is hypnosis.
Yeah.
Right? Keeping the eyeballs on a person, you entrance them.
Yeah.
So, you know, very rarely do I offer to buy a guy a drink, but how many drinks have I offered to pay for a woman? Right?
Right.
Like, let me show you I have some money. Let me show you that I'm interested. And I hope you feel more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, it's like what I was saying. Everything is hypnosis in a sense, right? Yeah. So it kind of becomes a gray area as the hypnotist himself, I have to imagine. Yeah. Because it is like, well, what is hypnosis then? How are we going to define hypnosis?
Every hypnotist reads a book called Reality is Plastic.
By who?
Anthony Jacquin, I believe.
Okay.
Either that or that's his son who wrote it, but they're both hypnotists. And it's accurate. There's a plastic water gun on the cover. Reality is plastic.
Well, what does it mean? Like it can be shaped and molded?
Yeah. It's kind of like in the Matrix. It's like, yeah, there's gravity, but you can bend gravity.
And it's similar to that concept of narratives then, how you're constructing a sort of narrative. Mm-hmm. I mean, ultimately, what I find is it's interesting. I like with any song I make or anything, it's like people will go along with what you're doing for the most part. Almost always. It's just a matter of like continuing to sell them on it and keeping them along for the ride.
I bought I bought a brand new car for 20% more than it's worth because even when he's doing the techniques, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I already swallow the bait.
I'm gullible. And I don't like that about myself. And I know that about myself, but I fall for things. I'm too accepting. And I just I think I project my honesty onto others, and I assume the best intent of others, and so it's easy to trick me into such a situation. It's why I can't talk to police.
That's funny.
I just think, no, they wouldn't.
yeah, officer friendly. That's a good marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You just gotta be careful. You can't always be completely open and honest. And
well, yeah, I can't even be completely open with my wife. You shouldn't be. She doesn't need to know everything.
No one does.
Like, hey, I just took a huge shit. Like, oh, honey, I didn't need to know that. It's like, still want to have sex.
Kind of a vibe killer.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't want to kill the vibe. You know? But yeah, so that's a risky one. Just saying too much, you know. And being too, you got to be being too positive, being too trusting, I suppose. You got to be careful out here. There's crazies out here. People will just lie. People will just upsell you. I remember I was at Verizon and the guy sold me a phone charger for $40. Which is crazy. Because the same charger you can get online for $15. But he was like, no, it's a fast charging.
Yeah.
Made me think.
Check this out. Every time you see the word technology, like we have technology. This is our patented technology. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
your pen doesn't have ink technology. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Now, with that being said, there are valuable things, but yeah, it's not that. Like, if you're getting like a high-end pen, it's not the guy selling you the high-end pen in the mall. It's not him. You like go and you do your research and you figure out what a high-end pen is, and then you buy it. You don't just trust the random salesman you just met.
Right.
They get me.
Yeah.
We all forget. We all just fall for things. I think it's just a lesson. You know, we all we're all easily swayed in directions, whether we like it about ourselves or not. You know, I think people don't realize that. And I think, you know, it's why the hypnotists are the witches. You know, you guys are witches.
We're special.
Whatever the criticism is. I don't know what people get mad at. I imagine to be like witchcraft. That's my guess.
I've been protested at one show because people thought they were giving their devotion to me instead of God, or giving their minds to me instead of God. It was a religious school in Minnesota. But it doesn't happen often. Dude, like, pulled my Facebook photos and everything. I was like, dude, it's a little...
Yeah.
Privacy, please. So I came out to Sympathy for the Devil. That was my walk-on song.
That's hilarious. I wonder if anybody got it, you know?
Maybe
if anything, it's just a great inside joke just for you.
Just for me, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. One thing I definitely want to ask you, too, is, like, how do you... Because, I mean, starting hypnosis, being a hypnotist and starting hypnosis are two different things. So how do you start hypnosis? Like, what was the experience like? Was it just pulling friends aside and saying, hey, bear with me? Was it that kind of thing?
Same with magic. You know, one of the best Bob's Burgers episodes, Rudy is going to a magic shop, and he goes, I want a magic trick that'll help unite all humanity for under $13. and he's performing. We see that, like, his parents are going through a divorce, and he's performing for his parents because they go to the restaurant, and he'd always do a trick, and that way, yay, you get the applause. I did the magic, bomb talent shows. And then in grad school, when I was learning hypnosis, I was a resident assistant, but grad level. And an RA is like, hey, would you do a program for my residents? I'm like, yeah, sure, I do one. And he goes, okay, we usually do them like on a Friday. I'm like, yeah, I would do it on Friday. It doesn't matter. And then he put up posters, and I was like, whoa, I'm still learning. He goes, well, that's too bad. I told all my residents, and the posters are up, so I guess you got to do the show.
Yeah.
Because some people just keep learning and learning. They never do the damn thing.
Yeah.
I was guilty of it.
I mean, and that's something I always say to, like, in general. It's like, yeah, you can wait till you're ready, but also you do have to, like, put yourself in positions where you just are forced to grow. Like, you're forced to do it. Because you could sit there and talk about it forever. That's why when I mentioned to you about putting together a show, I have that pattern within myself, and it's driving me nuts. I have to stop. I need to just put together something. But then once I do it, I'll feel awesome. And I've done this a million times. I already know. And I'm sure your show, whether it went good or not, you were there and you did it. And that made you feel a lot more like a hypnotist.
We made a profit.
Yeah.
Right? I got to stay in Chicago. I didn't have to travel on an airplane to have to book a rent-a-car. You know, I think we hired a babysitter. That was my little hang-up. But, yeah, we made a profit. I had a date night with my wife.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, I don't want to keep traveling like this. August and September, I do a lot of college shows. But I don't want to do it anymore because I'm aging out. they're calling me sir more and more. And before it was like, hey, I'm an older brother. And now it's like, oh, you're a cooler uncle. And now I'm like, I definitely can be your dad.
So what is it? Are we stepping towards the Netflix special now? Is that what's going on?
Maybe. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if Netflix has a hypnosis special.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like a full hypnosis special, like a full hour. Is that how you'd plan it out, you think? Like a full hour?
I would have to film it all in Chicago because I'm really tired of... I like Midway, but I'm really tired of hopping on flights and booking flights. And
there's theaters here.
It's time for a new thing. Yeah.
There's definitely like... I don't even think you really need a big space, right? Like would Remova Theater, that's towards the south side. If you've been there before, that's not a bad venue. They just did Roast Battle Chicago, the South Side there. The South Side Roast Battle Chicago thing that was held there. And I saw some other show there too. But I think they do a lot of concerts and comedy there. And then even just any of these comedy venues, I bet they would love to host something like that. Because, I mean, comedians film specials in these places all the time. But, I mean, some of them even supply video for you. Like Zanies will give you video. So there's that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, they have.
Laugh Factory gives you video. I mean, it would be a little... Maybe it wouldn't... I don't know. I don't know what that would look like on camera. A hypnotist doing an hour at Laugh Factory. It might look cool. And also, I would say... You might even want to follow the comedian route. Don't even worry about Netflix. Just make your special and put it out for free on YouTube, because so many comedians have gotten millions of views doing it that way. Yeah. And then they end up on Netflix with the next special. That really is like a pattern that's happened a couple times now. I want to say that was Shane Gillis. That was, I think Mark Norman did a YouTube special too. Like a full big comic and a full 30, 45 minutes from this big comic for free. I think like in this day and age, that actually does make more sense.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
But you do have to, then all the production costs are
right. They're on
you.
The thing is, I like to self-sabotage.
Me too.
My wife, she's like, you just got to know your worth, and you got to take people's money because they want to give it to you. And I'm like, I want more friends. She's like, you really don't want more friends.
Yeah. And when you say self-sabotage, do you mean like sell yourself short in a sense? Like you don't want somebody to get the wrong idea.
I'm afraid of flying too close to the sun.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I didn't do what I was supposed to do as a parent.
I see.
And I set myself too low, and they're like, well, enjoy crashing into this beach.
Flying too close to the sun, how though?
It's like, I'm going to do something amazing. Because when I got AGT, that was a big part of my career. Opened so many potential doors. Like CAA is like, we want you as an artist. And then they quickly said they don't want me as an artist. But I could have gone a couple different ways. And my mom was going through chemo at the time. She passed away. And I was performing. And I didn't take time to grieve. And I didn't take awareness that you don't need to do these college shows that usually cap around $3,500. You can play a theater. You can sell tickets, because my whole business plan was do these colleges, and I don't promote, because the college kids promote your show when you show up.
Right.
They're like, we paid this guy to be here. You need to come out because we used our budget funds, and no one likes an empty room.
Yeah.
So come on out and see him.
Not only that, but like you weren't even the one who made those videos viral. They did it for you. So you weren't even necessarily the driver of that.
That's a great point that I forget about too.
Yeah.
People used to film my shows, and I'd ask my mentors, like, should I let them? Like, no, I don't know any photos, no videos. And other people were like, no. I asked them, say, hey, can I get your YouTube channel? Oh, did you take some cool stuff? I'll give you a free t-shirt. Thank you so much. More about generosity than being afraid of someone stealing your stupid little bit.
Right. Yeah.
If it's really your bit, probably no one else can do it. I used to do a routine where I would make people think that I was Barack Obama and make a football player be Michelle Obama. And the big punchlines would be like me doing the voice, me being half black, all those jokes. And Michelle, what advice do you have for these college students? And then football player would be like, just try to be nice to women. That's right. Got to be nice. We have 2 beautiful children ourselves. What are our daughters' names? Sasha and Malia. And what were we going to name them originally? Q-Tip. Q-Tip. We were going to name our daughter. Like, and then I'd have someone do sign language, and they don't know sign language. There's a whole great bit. And I did that all over like 50 fucking states. Because in my mind, everyone liked Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I was 20 whatever years old. And I was like, America, you said you wanted this. You wanted, don't brag about your dick, don't have so many kids, get off welfare. And we gave you Barack, and you said send him back to Africa. I'm very confused, America. I'm very confused.
Hey, if you want, you can bring me with you next time. I've worked on this a lot, all right?
You right here next to me are Melania, and I am Trump, and I am so excited to have you here. We are really happy to be here at this college, this illustrious college. Lots of accolades and accomplishments. I read about it just yesterday when I was in the bathroom. Really good college.
You were reading in the bathroom, eh? Could you tell us the name of the journalist?
Well, it wasn't fake news, I'll tell you that much. I never read the fake news, the fake CNN liberal media. It was definitely probably Tucker Carlson I was reading. That great man, like this great college, these great people. I love you. Trump loves you all.
Yeah, he loves you so much. And as a sign of unity, I want to pay for all your tuition to attend Trump University.
Now look at that. That's a merger, if I've ever seen one. The greatest crossover since Infinity War, if you ask me.
If you had to be a person from Infinity War, I could see you going Thanos, because you're very powerful. I could also see you as Tony Stark with the gadgets and the building and the being above humanity.
That's crazy you say that, because Tony Stark was my first answer, but as soon as you said Thanos, I thought, oh my God, great man, so powerful. I kind of do have the Infinity Gauntlet, if you think about it. The greatest country of all time, America, and I wear the glove, just like O.J. Simpson. Great guy, great guy.
Incredible athlete. Rest in peace to the juice.
Rest in peace to the Jews.
Now, how I used to do it was I used to
Be more like Stewie and go way up in here.
And one day I figured out
It's more about being in your voice. You have to feel it. And the very important part, I wasn't doing it a whole lot here, but it's the hands. The hands get you in character. And it's also the rhythm.
So if I were to do the rhythm in a normal speech pattern like this, it's sort of musical almost. If you observe and pay attention, you would
understand that that's what's happening. It's almost hypnosis. If you think about it, I'm taking you here and then we're going to a glorious place, a better place.
My nephew, Chris Jones, he's something of a magician. He went to a Bernie Sanders rally in Chicago, and he went to a Trump rally in Battle Creek, Michigan. Interesting thing, Trump was impeached the first time the day of that Trump rally.
Yeah.
And I'll cut the bit there. But yeah, I went to a Trump rally in Battle Creek, Michigan, when he was impeached for withholding military aid to Ukraine. And I just wore a red coat. I honestly bought a Trump hat online.
Yeah.
And I got into an argument with a dude. I was like, hey man, you probably like this more than I will. I don't want this Make America Great Again hat. It was made in Vietnam. And his friend was like, so who cares? Vietnam, that was like 40 years ago. And at that point, I learned to stop arguing about politics. Like, Vietnam still exists. Just because we leave a country where there's a conflict, it's still a country typically. And it was more than 40 years ago, and I shouldn't be arguing with you all.
Right. Because, I mean, at that point, it's a basic like we have to break down the terms of everything to even get anywhere. And I think that's where a lot of political conversation lies. I think politics actually, I mean, the problem with it in general is I think that the system we have is built to take advantage of such a thing, of us thinking it's one team versus another, and it's this or that, when reality is so far from that. It's never so simple, but politics will sell you that story that is so simple, and I think it's easier to understand. And also, I think I read a book called Emotional Intelligence. It's a great book. And the book makes the biological case that we feel before we think, and it's like as we evolved, we felt before we could ever think, and then we evolved into thinking. And so thinking, I mean, you look at the way people react, our reaction times, it happens based on feeling before we can explain it. And I think politics is that always. Like what happened with you and that guy is you said it's made in Vietnam. His interpretation of that is so far beyond. He's not thinking he's not even trying to interpret what you meant as what you meant. He's thinking, oh, he's talking Vietnam War. He's some type of protester talking about how the Vietnam War, and he's connecting that. When you weren't doing any of that, you were making the point that it's ironic this hat was made in Vietnam when it's a make America. But he doesn't even, his interpretation of that is so based on how he feels. He didn't even see the irony in what you just pointed out. And it's just politics 101. No one is talking about the same thing.
If it's on a bumper sticker, it's probably bullshit. If you can solve it in 3 words. All right. Coexist. Fuck, you did it.
Wouldn't that be great though?
It would be amazing.
If I could just say like coexist,
or like the bumper stickers or the billboards that say Jesus is the answer is like, could be the answer.
What I don't like about it is I feel like it's overriding something about our brains where it's like we all have basic goodwill. We all have that. We all want the best for each other. But when you make things sound so simple, then it's so easy to do other things on top of that that don't align with the original thing. And like it's never that simple. Like it's never so easy as just saying believe in this or coexist. Like I really hate the phrase believe in science. That one makes me mad because I do believe in science, but even a scientist would tell you that science is often wrong. Like there's I think Andrew Huberman, he said, and this is just a thing.
He's wrong a lot.
He's wrong a lot.
And he loves it.
Yeah, and he'll correct himself. And he said that like if you ask scientists, like people who are PhDs teaching at colleges, they'll tell you that 50% of any given textbook is wrong.
Wow.
Because give it 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Why do you have to buy a new textbook when you had one in the 90s? Because science ages. But if you treat science like a religion and you say that you have to believe in science, well then now we're taking everything in the textbook as real, but we already established that the whole point of science is to discover that we're wrong and this is actually the new thing. Mm-hmm. It's always progressing forward. So think like slogans like this, it just simplifies something that if you're going to break it down, it's never that simple. Like, of course it's not. Science is obviously real. Like no one doesn't. We all believe that gravity exists. Most of us.
Right.
Actually, I don't. I have my own theory on gravity. I'll get to that later. It's a joke. But wouldn't it be funny if I did?
You're allowed to believe whatever you want. That's the thing.
That's why I love talking to people. If somebody had a flat earth theory, I'm going to ask all kinds of questions.
Right.
I want to get to the bottom of that flat earth.
What I want to offer when I do my college shows is, if you believe something, great.
Yes.
If you doubt it, ask more questions.
I think one thing I think in life, I think you could live by, some great advice, is if you don't like the answers, ask better questions.
That's great too.
Yeah.
I like that. Ask better questions.
Because it's like, it's not really about, like if you're not satisfied with what's happening around you, maybe you just haven't seeked out the right thing yet. Maybe you're not looking in the right place. Maybe you don't even, your aim is all wrong. And sometimes even in a conversation, it's like, what went wrong there? Well, maybe if you just gave them something better, they could have given you so much more. It's all kinds of times. You could have just, or even when you're speaking to someone you look up to, right? Like you should be asking them all kinds
millions of questions. If I ever met someone that I'm like enamored by, I would be like, well, how do you do this? And how do you do this? Like, of course you would, because why not? I mean, maybe if you're meeting them for like 2 seconds, you don't have a chance. It's like, by the way, I love you. But
right.
Oh my God, like David Blaine. You mentioned him. If I were to meet David Blaine, if he was sitting right where you're sitting right now, I can't even imagine where I would start, you know? Like, even with you, I was thinking, where do I even start? Because hypnosis is such a big topic for me to start with, and I've never really gotten to ask. And I think you're somebody who's not only a hypnotist, but you're like notable. I think you're a notable. You've done this for a long time. It's kind of like talking to a comedian. A lot of comedians, they've done it, but they haven't really done it. If you do something for such a long time and you're on a big stage and you've done this at all these different places, at a certain point you have a level of experience that can't really be reached otherwise. And so I just can't imagine, David. What would you ask David Blaine if you had him right in front of you? What would you say?
I'd want to work with him. I'd be like, can we be friends? Like, how can I guess the question people ask, it would be like, how can I help you? Yeah. What service can I offer you? How can I help you?
Right.
How do I stay in your orbit? What can I do for you?
Someone once told me as business advice, what you always want to do is leverage your strengths, right? So it's exactly that. It's what can I do for you and what can you do for me? What can we do for each other? Like, what I love about this podcast is it's why we're meeting right now. It's what I can do for you. Yeah. And like, it's just such a cool thing to even have that. Because otherwise, you don't meet those people. So it's kind of like finding a way to create that, right? Like it's better. It's almost like asking a girl on a date. It's better if you set the date. So it's probably better if you came to him with a plan, all right? Like just tell him, hey, I got an idea. Just give me 2-3 minutes to explain it to you. Like, because at first he's going to think, oh, who's this guy? But if you just sell him real quick, like Oz again, I think that was something he's talked about is he would do magic at tables. Yeah. And it's always
restaurant
the sell
magic.
in the first. If you're in an awkward situation, you have to immediately set the stage. So I think that would be the trick you'd have to pull on David. You have to immediately be like, listen, David, I know you're a busy guy, but trust me, I've got one of the most incredible things.
Yeah. I'm sure magicians co-opt him all the time, and
exactly,
you know,
exactly. It's like if you're a rapper and somebody gives you a mixtape. It's like, okay, I got you. I'm gonna listen for sure. Maybe they are really good. So the question is, how do they show you their talent within 2 minutes, 3 minutes? I wonder, because I mean, he's never really dived into hypnosis, right? He never really has done that. He's more of like a purist with his magic in the sense that he's trying to do the realest things possible and never really a mentalist thing, never really any of that. More like...
No, even with his new series on National Geographic where he like travels and he learns how to do something.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's called Do Not Attempt. He's fucking setting himself on fire and jumping off a bridge to extinguish himself.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing that. Like, he's learning how to kiss a cobra on top of the head.
It's funny because every time he's on an interview before one of these things, he'll be like, this is the last thing I'm doing. This is the craziest thing I've ever done. Yeah. This has got to be it. I can't keep doing this.
Right.
And then he'll do something else every time.
His Vegas show, he's on a high rise. It starts and he falls into the
shoulder?
boxes. Dislocated his shoulders. But you know what happened? It was a convention of doctors in the audience. Like, how serendipitous, how incredible is that? But that's how life works sometimes.
Oh, not only that, they came on stage, they popped his shoulder back, and then throughout the show, his shoulder re-dislocated.
I didn't know that
And they
part.
had to pop it back in again. He says, like, throughout the show, he's like, hey, can I get those doctors back up here?
Wow.
He's the most dedicated person I think I've ever seen. Like, if you ever feel like you're doing a lot, just look at David Blaine.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one is on that level of, like, meeting their goals, you know, because he'll set the most unrealistic goal and just keep doing it over and over. And I think it's a pure testament to just like the levels to which our bodies can go and what you can handle. And like he's at a certain point, he's not doing magic. He's not even really doing magic.
No, he's literally sewing his mouth shut.
He's catching a bullet.
Yeah. That he has to fire it himself.
And he's like, yeah, someone did this before and they died, but don't worry, my friend's gonna shoot the gun. That's literally it. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, but he's such an inspiration. I can only imagine for everybody. And just, I would not even think just magicians, but just anybody in the realm of professional mind blowing, right? Of just trying to
expand the scope of people's minds, because that's, in my mind, that's what he does. He's such a, I mean, he held the record, not anymore, but he held the record a while for holding your breath.
Yep.
I mean, just so many different things he's done where it's like, if you did one of those things, you'd be happy with that. The balloon thing was crazy too. I mean,
balloon thing was very cool.
Yeah.
I like how he's getting his daughter in on it too. Like, he can't keep her out of his performances.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way sometimes? You think that might happen to you? Do you picture a hypnotist daughter? Is that what you picture?
There aren't that many female stage hypnotists.
Yeah, I've heard that. Right. Like comedy, like those types of fields where it's just an entertainment field in general. You don't see the female representation on the same level.
And at first I was pretty sexist. I was like, this is bullshit. When I dropped my kid off at daycare and there's a man in the daycare, I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? It's not that I only want women, but I only trust women.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's my like maternal complex though, right? Like, because it could be that. It could be that built into you. I mean, that's sexism 101, right? I think it always starts with our parents and all. That's why it's so bad to get neglected by a parent, because I feel like what that does is that teaches you that, like if you have parents that don't provide whatsoever, I think what that would teach you is no one knows what's going on and no one's going to ever help you. And if you have parents who provide too much, you get the opposite, which is also bad. You get people who always provide for you and everything's always good. So there's no good way to parent, of course. But yeah, it's just like, it's the balance, I suppose. It's the balance. And what is that? What is getting the balance right? You know, how do you do it? Especially like if you're a David Blaine and you're out there doing dangerous things, and what do you say to a kid?
And he tells his daughter, you can't do what I do. It's like, well, I see you do it.
Yeah.
I see other people trying to replicate you.
And he's a role model.
Why can't I? Yeah.
I mean, when you're a kid, I think people forget what being a kid's like. Your parents are like the template for reality. It's like, that's what an adult is. Okay.
You ever read the book The Game by Neil Strauss?
No.
It's about being a pickup artist.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's, and I bet that's probably a psychological, it ends up probably being a psychology book, right? Because it's a lot of like psychology tricks
and human rapport and yeah. And peacocking, all these techniques that you can do. But David Blaine is a very good pickup artist. And it's funny that all these magicians who like idolize him, myself included, would pick up mannerisms that's a pickup artist. Like when you say less and let the person you're attracted to say more, then you're winning.
Right.
And so he'd be like, take a card. All right, put it back. Boom, there it is. Oh my gosh. And he just stands there in silence. It's like, we have sex now.
You mean like just the amount of underselling he does?
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of the rule in comedy of playing stupid and being the fool. I think it's very similar, where it's like, if I reveal my hand too much, like a deck of cards, if I show you my hand too early, well, now you know everything I have to offer. So if I'm always underselling that and always, when I mentioned earlier how I'm sitting back at a show, I feel like that's kind of, I'm not doing it intentionally, but I think that's what's happening. They're like, oh, who's this guy? And it's like underselling who I am. So then when I go up and I do the thing, they're like, whoa, we had no idea you were going to do that. Because they didn't even see it coming, because I'm not out in your face the whole time before I go on stage. I'm just laid back, just chilling back here. And then, boom, he just gets you.
Have managers approached you?
Not yet. Managers. I've had people at bars who are like, oh, I could manage it, but never like a true AR of a company, nothing like that. I've even had scams hit me up. Those are fun. Look out on Instagram, boys and girls. I mean, it's 2025. You should know by now. If you get scammed, it's almost your fault, but still.
I got scammed today.
Yeah, we all get scammed. So that's why I say almost, because, I mean, I have friends who, like, I would think know better, and I see them. The latest one is there's this thing. It got me a while ago, and then as soon as I learned about it, you got to look out for it. There'll be competitions. They'll reach out to you, and it's like, it'll be, the one I saw was like, it's a couple thing, so it's two people, it's different couples that are creators, and there's all these different groups, and you advertise to people. They make it look like a donation, so a donation competition. So your friends can vote for you to win in the competition, and ultimately you as the creator can win $2,000, whatever number they made up, and then
it's again taking advantage of the goodwill of people, because now the people who are voting for you go on the website because they're your friends, they want to support you. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, look, it's a donation to a charity, and not only that, it doubles the vote for my friend if I donate more to the charity. So I guess I'll donate $5 instead of $1. And guess what? It's all fake, and it's just a bunch of people stealing your money. And this is just, yeah, there's a whole bunch of that. So, but no, to answer your question, long story short, no real managers, just a bunch of these Instagram snakes. But how did you end up with your current manager? How'd that happen? Was it just happenstance?
I performed at her post-prom years before, and then I got on AGT and I got some TV invitations, and I literally I'm on TV and I go, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't. There's everyone asking me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Was this like, you mean like during the influx of messages and all this?
Yeah. Getting 1,000 messages in a day. She said, hey, I think I do what you need. You need help with PR. Let's meet at the Soho. And I was like, what's the Soho? She's like, you have so much to learn.
You know how I described, when you asked me that relationship question before we started, I said, I kind of just expect things to happen for me.
Yeah.
That is exactly how your manager thing happened for you.
Yeah.
You just got lucky. Because she just found you. That's exactly how I want my wife to appear in my life, is what you just described.
That would be lovely.
If you're watching this, wife, I just described to you the perfect scenario for me.
Have you dated people who've seen you on stage first?
I haven't dated anybody probably since I dated one girl since my like big high school relationship, and I don't know what. I just, in my mind, I'm so determined in what I do, and I know where my goal and my aim is. I just feel like I have to be careful, because I know how my brain works. I know how I am. I can get lost in the wrong thing, and I just have to. I can only give so much of myself away. Yeah. So it's one of those things where if the right person were to come along, of course. But I'm not just, I think that if you were every day going through your life trying to think about that and trying to think, oh, where is she? Where is she? Then that becomes your aim and that becomes your life. And now I'm not focused on my creative endeavors. I'm focused on this other thing I'm trying to fulfill. And so you can only put so much into, but I also think if my beautiful wife who's watching this came into my life, she would probably make my creative endeavors so much better, and she would just make everything easier. It's just, I believe in chance. I believe in life. And hey, you're telling me a story about how your manager just popped right into your life and made it all better. So it works for my theory.
I think in a good relationship, there's picture and frame.
Okay.
So one just complements the other.
Okay. I'm struggling to understand the metaphor.
So I throw a poster on the wall. Oh, it's a poster. Great. I put it in a picture frame, protect it with glass. One complements the other. Like, you can't just have a frame that's empty. That looks very strange. Mm-hmm. But a poster on the wall by itself. So in a good relationship, you complement each other.
Of course.
And going back to Chris Rock again, his special tambourine. Have you seen that?
No.
I don't want to spoil it for someone, but I'm going to. Tambourine. He's like, this is in a relationship. You can't all play lead guitar. Someone has to play tambourine.
I see.
But you can't be like, you got to play it like you like tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine. Tambourine, you got to play it like it's the only thing that matters. So in a relationship, sometimes you're taking out the garbage, but you got to take it out with enthusiasm. Yeah. Sometimes you got to be like, you're sick, I'm going to bring you ginger ale and Gatorade and whatever helps you. And that waiting on you hand and foot. Or I'm paying the rent for a little while and we'll take turns.
Well, I think in any good relationship, even with a friend, you have to accept that you're often the supporting character. You're not the main character.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like, I heard Michael Malice say once, it's really good advice, like, be the person that takes somebody out for their birthday.
Oh, that's great.
Most of the time, think about it. Like, who reaches out on your birthday and says, hey, let's go out? Like, that's a whole different level of being nice to somebody.
That's a very good one.
Yeah. Because I think that those types of actions speak volumes. Actions speak louder than the words. Like, to do something like that for somebody does so much more than you could ever even comprehend. You're the one who did that. No one else did. And those little things where it's just, I'm gonna fill in the role that you need right now. Like, it's not about me. It's actually about you, and making it clear that you feel that way. Not just doing that. Not just saying that. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say something like,
I care about other people and I want to help other people, you know, but to actually actively do it is one other thing. Like,
who's one of your favorite comedians you've seen on stage? Like, you admire them and then you actually got to like see them, be in their bubble.
Meaning their personality or their stage act?
You saw them and you're like, fuck, they're good. And then you meet them and you're like, they're just as great off stage.
I would say a comedian that's in the world that I've met, in like the Chicago. Okay, so in that case, just yesterday I had on Emily Ogle for the second time. She was the longest episode of this podcast at 4 hours and 5 minutes. And just yesterday, she kept saying to me, she was like, we're not going to do that again. We're not going to do that again. And she even said towards the end, like, I had texted somebody and said, I'm going to tell him that I have a prior engagement, like to force herself to leave on time.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because I think we ended up topping the record. Like, there was a couple breaks we took, but it's roughly 4 hours.
Wow.
And I told her at the very end, her and Zach Albers are two people that come to mind where it's like, I think in comedy, I think in all stage performance, again, it's like this hypnosis thing I'm talking about. At a certain point, it's not about the jokes. It's not about any of that. It's about who you are and do I believe you? Do I believe in who you are, and are you selling me a reality that we can all believe in? And then the jokes and the music and all that is actually like the secondary thing. It's, can I captivate you? Do you believe in me? And, you know, it's why you have cults. Same thing. A cult is actually not about the philosophy of the cult. It's the fact that you have a guy who's so good at talking, he managed to turn everybody. And like, so those guys, I love them so much because I think they're like people I've met in real life that exemplify. Another comedian I'll say is AJ Leidig. I really like him. I'm trying to have him on this show, where every time I see him, I think when a comedian's good, they should be able to go in any room and just carry that personality. And I just believe you, like I just said. Like, there's just something about them that's so authentic.
Yeah.
They're just killing. They're killing. I don't know how to describe it, but they could walk into an open mic and they just took this whole place over. I aim to do that myself. Like, when I see these people do it, I'm like, that is greatness. That is what true stage performance should be. It should be going on a stage and taking your time and using all of it and actually doing something thoughtful. But also, it should look somewhat effortless if you're really good. And that's why these people are good, because it's like they're using... In comedy, I think the best comedians ever, they somehow find a way to blend their personality with the reality. So like, if you, and then these people I just mentioned, when I had them on the podcast and I talked with them, they're the same people that you see on the stage. They're not different. It's not a character. And I think like that's what's so interesting to me. It's like, you can have a stage character. You could have somebody that you turn on, but to be able to kind of play into that always is a whole other story. Like, if it's truly you, and some people are just anomalies. Like Andy Kaufman, I think, is the OG anomaly comedian. Like, people try to be Kaufman, no one can be Kaufman.
Yeah.
But he found a way to break all the rules in a way that no one else had ever done and no one else can since. I think we're in a different world now. You literally couldn't if you tried. But it's just so... If you had him in an interview, you never know what you're going to get. It's not like there was one character he played. He was a million characters. And it's like people like that. It's just so... there's a certain authenticity that I think is just... It speaks to the soul. And that is why I choose these people. That is why I describe the greats in this way. And I think it's just a rule of entertainment, of art in general, is the greats just find a way to cut through things, you know, and just be real and be true to themselves. And through that, being true to you, like you as a viewer feel it and you get to use it, I suppose. Yeah. Like, are there like people you look up to in entertainment in general where you just watch them and you're like blown away? I mean, obviously we established a few people, David Blaine already for sure.
Yeah. Darren Brown is great. When I saw him the second time, I really wanted to meet him. Yeah. So there's an intermission and I was like, hey, can you give him this card to like a person? He's like, yeah. And you just knew, I was like, nah, that's not going to get there. So the rest of the show, I'm like thinking, how am I going to meet him? Show's over. It's great. Everyone leaves. And I go across the street. This is New York, and it's pretty cold outside. And there's a Chipotle, and I just sit, and I watch everyone leave the venue. And I'm like, if there's only one entrance, like I went around, I didn't see an alley.
Yeah.
So I just waited and waited and waited. I saw 2 guys come out finally. And I was like, that's that stride. So I crossed the street, did my little jog past to make sure, and then jogged past again because he had his hat on. And I was like, I was just at your show. I'm not a jogger. I was at your show. Oh, lovely. Well, wonderful. Can I get a photo? Cool. There was an illusionist. I'm like, it is him. And so we got photos. And I was like, oh, man, I'm a hypnotist. America's Got Talent. And I showed him my arm thing that day. I was like, oh, that's really nice. So he was pleasant. And it was one of those like, am I being too much for you? Can we hang out? And I was like, I just want to say, just keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
I should have gone all in and said, let's get tea if you'll have me. I should have done that.
See, I've created a false pretense. I say, let's do a podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a great way to make friends.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like, you texted me before this, we're going to be friends. And it's funny because after I do the podcast, sometimes I'll say to people, by the way,
yeah.
This is just a great way to, if you ever want to hang out, because it's like, it's kind of, you have to, that's why I said that thing about David Blaine. You kind of have to create a reason. Like, you can even you can take my idea, start a podcast. Next time you see him, just be like, hey, Darren, I'd love to speak with you. Here's my card. If you are interested, maybe do like, if you have 30 minutes, an hour, but you could put aside. And that way you can truly establish, because the thing is about a podcast is you actually are establishing a relationship. Mm-hmm. So it's a separate thing. If you're doing someone like him, you either have to ask him on a date, like you just said, and then now he's thinking logistically, do I have time for that? If you ask about a stage act, that's a little bit probably, I don't know, because he's so big. Anybody like that, if you ask for a stage act, what are you going to say? It's just so hard. You'd have to have such a good proposal.
Oh, the fortunate thing is, like, even like the Chris Rocks and whatever, they still will need someone to help them punch up some jokes.
Right. Yeah.
Darren Brown.
Yeah, like you could even
David,
say, have you ever considered maybe having a hypnotist as an opener? You could definitely say that to any comic.
Yeah.
Or a consultant.
Yeah.
Oh.
So next time you do a TV thing, I have some ideas, some perspective.
That's smart. Consultant. I wouldn't have even thought of that.
There are magicians who make money, lots of money, like being Chris Angel's consultant in Vegas.
No way.
Yeah. Because we understand secrets and you don't run your mouth.
Right. And you know what's something that's so interesting about the magic world is secrets are so well respected. I mean, I mentioned earlier how you have these videos that reveal it, and it's almost sacrilegious when you see them. It's like, what are you doing? You know, isn't it, if you're not even a real magician if you're gonna go on social media and for views and likes, just show everybody how things are done, plain and simple. I mean, it's just that is so against the core of what magic's about.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I used to watch all the Fox specials, Magic's Biggest Secrets Revealed. I'd watch all of them, The Masked Magician.
Oh, that was like kind of the original.
Yeah. I used to watch those all the time. But that upped my game. And the other thing is that there are people born every single day. So you can do the same stuff. It'll be new to them.
Yeah.
You'll never know what fools people these days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. I like to think that everything you do is always new to somebody, right? Like Aaron Chase, when I had him on this show, he asked me such a good question. He asked me, because he does comedy, so you can keep what you're doing fresh because you can switch it up. I can change the phrasing. I can do all kinds of things. So if you're doing a song, then how do you keep it fresh and change it? And my answer was by inserting the soul within what I'm doing, you know? Because, I mean, it's about feeling what I'm doing because it is new to somebody. Mm-hmm. And it should, in a way, still be new to me. Like, if I'm just doing it in this rotary way where I'm running through all of these things and I know every single... I've done it in the mirror. I know what my face looks like. Yeah. At a certain point, now it's like kind of a different activity I'm doing, you know? And so there is like an essence to keeping it new and fresh to yourself even. Like you can't just do the same monologue 30 shows in a row. You can't. You can,
but you can't.
No.
It's so bad because by the end you sound like a robot. There's no way not to, you know? I mean, even when I do the beginning of the show, I'm saying the same thing. Like you 3, 2, 1, this is the guest that I always say it's a very special guest is, but I feel like it's the commitment to the bit that makes it sound spontaneous. If I weren't committing 100%, it would sound like a boring intro that I always say, and it's the same thing every time. It's just believing yourself, I suppose. It's that same thing, you know. People believe in you when you believe in yourself. It's all a sell.
People believe in you when you believe in yourself.
I have to imagine hypnosis, like especially people who are starting, like that's probably great. You'd have to imagine if someone's starting hypnosis and they don't believe in themselves, that's probably the core of where they're failing. Right? It's
like, well, I've only swam in a pool. If you can swim in the pool, you can swim in the ocean. No, I can't. You have to trust me. You can swim in the ocean. If you can swim in 5 feet, you can swim in 20 feet. But I could touch the bottom there. Yeah. The more people in your audience, the better typically for a hypnosis show.
Yeah, because I was going to say you probably would encounter that type of conversation with like people who are in hypnotherapy that don't want to step into stage hypnosis.
Right.
But because they're thinking stage hypnosis is something else when really it's not. Yeah.
And I go to these conferences, people are selling, I will teach you how to be a street hypnotist. My mind goes, if you're doing clinical, I don't want my therapist going to people on the street and saying, hey, I can cure you of this. I can treat you for depression. Just come up to me on the street. No. It's a strange thing. I'm dealing with this as I'm approaching 40 in May.
All right.
And it's like, I loved magic. Hypnosis can actually help people. I want to be truthful. Hypnotherapy is now over here. But with mentalism, people believe it's real. Even Oz tells me, he's like, this is an illusion. It's entertainment. It's powerful what I'm doing. It's a skill. And they're like, hey, I know you gave that disclaimer, but like, I know you're a psychic. And you just don't argue with them anymore. You're like, all right, you got me. I'm really, truly looking inside Joe Rogan's head and I can see inside his mind. You got me.
Well, he's really good at it.
He's phenomenal.
For the record, he is phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh.
Because, I mean, he is... and the problem is, like I said before, when he says something like that, I don't consider myself a skeptic, but I consider myself someone who wants to understand things. And so I'm always wondering when he says something like that, how much of that is part of the trick? How much of it is... And of course, there's only... like... It's just this thing where he's so good at it because what he's doing is he's making it seem as if he's telling you exactly what he's doing, and perhaps he is, but he's also not because he can't tell you exactly what he's doing. But he is breaking it down, and so in my mind, it just makes me wonder because of the level of vagueness that he's so good at it. He's a wordsmith. I mean, truly, because he never he never reveals too much, but he does make you feel as if he did explain. Like sometimes he'll say things like I said it this way to make you feel this way, and maybe he did, maybe he didn't though, and that's what gets me is how much of that is even misdirection, and that's where you get people who again you get caught in that thought loop, and I think eventually they just throw their hands up and say whatever, you're magic, whatever, you're magic then. you have to be because how else? Because I mean he's so good that at a certain point, to even try to make sense of things, you have to... It's like what I said earlier about stacking things. He's stacking tricks.
But even, when he said that he performed for like his kids, classroom, and his neighbor saw him and he was sweating bullets. He was like, what's wrong? And he's like, dude, those fourth graders, they're fucking savages. Like,
I believe that.
I had the coin in my hand and the kids just calling me out the whole time, and I'm just like, you switched it, it's a back palm. And she's like, and he's telling the teacher, he's like, no, I have an Emmy. Like, I'm good. Like, thank you for teaching my child. But like this, I'm good. This is my job. Yes, I'm better than these fourth graders understand.
Wow. Well, that speaks to, kids know things we don't know. Right?
Well, you can't fool everybody. If there's 100 people looking in a room at one thing, one person's going to notice where the coin is. Just what it is. And your guilty conscience tells you, like, don't think about the coin.
Yeah, right.
Don't think about it.
Yes.
Justin Willman's coming to Chicago.
Okay.
Have you seen him?
No.
Magic for Humans.
Okay.
He's incredible. He has a Netflix special. And it's a series. And he probably is like the finest TV magician.
Why though? What sets him apart from the rest?
He comes across very genuine and relevant. It's like if you took a newspaper and you said, you have to read some articles and then make tricks involving those articles. So he does this routine with peanut butter and jelly switching jars. And he talks about trans people.
Okay.
Right? It's a really good thing. It's a really,
Using the peanut butter and the jelly.
Yeah, it's like kids can understand this clearly.
Yeah.
Like you got this in this jar and this jar, but sometimes you have jelly and it feels like this and peanut butter feels like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, cool.
Sometimes you have peanut butter and jelly in the same jar.
Yeah.
That's actually, I always loved that as a kid, the peanut butter and jelly in the same jar. That is awesome. I forgot what they called it though. There's a name for it. So he does things that are like, he tries to be like culturally like relevant, like what he's doing is
100%.
in touch with what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if I go, here's an egg, why the fuck do you have an egg?
Yeah.
What?
And here's a chicken.
And there's a handkerchief. All right.
Yeah.
Who has a handkerchief?
Yeah.
And you go, oh, you have a record here. How cool would it be if you put on the record player right now and any song you name comes on? All right. I could do that with Bluetooth for sure. But that would be pretty cool if I could know the song that you're thinking of. Yeah. It makes it relevant.
It bothers me because I so badly do want to understand. Like, you never really wanted to do things like mentalism, right? Like you never really wanted to do that.
I went through my awkward phase, and I'm sure I'm approaching another awkward phase. Like when you think Andy Kaufman is incredible, which he was, he had many awkward phases. Same as Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
He's like telling his wife, "I'm gonna bomb for a little while," and he wore the sunglasses so he could do his routine with his eyes closed and not feel the rejection.
And that's how it felt?
Yeah. Because you got to find, you're like, I know there's something funny there. It's like a new bit. I know there's something there.
Yeah. But it never really happens.
It's like, what do I do for a talent show? Chris, you doing magic? I'm more of like a people reader.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do mentalism. So you do a stupid trick you write in a book that was published in the 70s. And they're like, all right. And you get clap. And then the next day they're like, I didn't really get it. I'm like, okay. So you go back at it. And that happened to me many times. And it's going to happen to me some more, I'm sure, because I don't have a finale for my show. Every hypnotist will be like, dance party. I don't have a finale for my show. It used to be I'd hypnotize everyone to think that I'm the rapper Drake. I'm not going to do that at a high school or a college. Thanks, Kendrick.
Yeah. That wouldn't be a fun conversation.
He's going around singing to these high school girls, I got my eyes on you.
That is so funny. It just wouldn't.
'Cause you're a good girl. Like, dude, you can't do that anymore.
Even like as a bit, it just probably wouldn't, because like the optics of someone pointing at you.
Again, it was great pre Kendrick, and when Drake and I were the same age, we're both 39. Yeah. But as you're closer to like these 20-year-olds and doing it when you're 23, that's fine. But I'm fucking 19 years older than you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Yeah.
I wonder I'm sure you've thought about this so much, what a good finale would be. Because that's a thought experiment, if there's ever been one. I mean, you really need something that's going to push the bar, right? I feel like the finale at a hypnosis show, especially you're trying to do a special, well, come on, we gotta push the bar. We gotta blow their mind. So what do you do? I mean, being somebody, that's one that's fairly common, no? To like you'll go to the colleges and is that the usual finale? I feel like I've heard of hypnotists.
It's a dance party,
or like I've heard of I'm your favorite celebrity. I've heard that one a lot, and so then they're always and who's your favorite celebrity? And then the fun is
it's a nice lazy thing to do because you don't need to be relevant
Yeah.
I'm your favorite celebrity. You're gonna be like, the person I'm touching, you're Taylor Swift.
So it's you looking like Drake is what makes that one so good. I see. Yeah, it kind of adds a whole new twist on it. You're right. So yeah, what do you do? Wow, if I get anything good, I'm gonna get it back to you. I feel like that's such a fun one. I want to come up with something good. You can't. Maybe like you bring like if you could hypnotize like 30 people at once and have them all on stage at once and get them all to do one thing, that might be cool. Because you don't really see like a mass hypnosis stage act. Like maybe that would be a big trick to pull out at the end. Well, I want to have, you guys might have never seen anything like this before, but I'm going to try something different. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try to bring 30 people up here right now, and I'm going to get all, and is like dance party, is that what that is? Or is it, because I mean, I'm trying to think, what would you get them to do once they're out there? You don't want to do dance. That's lazy. You want to get them to do something really surprising.
Here's how lazy hypnotists are, typically. Okay. I did my 3rd show ever. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Like paid show. And this little girl comes up to me at a college, Ball State in Indiana. She goes, "You're the hypnotist." I'm like, "Yes, I am." She goes, "You're going to go good smell, bad smell, hot, cold, funny movie, scary movie, make them go on a roller coaster, have them forget the number 4, forget their names, and do a dance party at the end." And I was like, yeah, because she had all the correct routines in the correct fucking order. She's like, "I know, I've seen one before, but I'm sure you'll be good."
Yeah.
And she left, and she wasn't being mean. She just told me the facts of life. I've seen a hypnotist before. You're going to do the exact same fucking show as them. I'm not going to watch you because my time is more important than watching the same show I've seen before.
And remember what I said about 90% of people being mediocre, because that's what 90% of people are going to do. And that's why she can spot that pattern. And anybody who's really paying attention can. You know, like you do have to set yourself apart from everybody else. And if you really want to stick out, you have to think like, what is the routine that's not what they've seen before? Like what really does change things up? Yeah. Because I feel that way about music. Like with when I'm making a song, it's like, yeah, everybody's heard a rap song before. How do I like reinvent the wheel in this way? How do I find a way to still within these bounds do something creative? And I think that speaks to the infinity of creativity, right? You can, if you play around, you can always find some answer to the question if you really think about it, especially if you're talented, especially if you've got it, whatever that is, you know? If you truly are the hypnotist you think you are, then you will come up with the way to dazzle these people in a way they've never seen before, you know? Just like if you truly are the comedian you think you are, or the rapper you think you are, or whatever it is, you know, the painter you think you are. You know, you're gonna take this and run with it and do something no one's ever seen. Like I have a friend, he's episode 1000 of the podcast. He agreed to it, Andrew King, and he's like, he doesn't do any social media, none of that. That's why he's episode 1000. He's like, I'll do it, but only if.
Okay.
So, but he's the best construction worker I've ever seen. Like I'm telling you, this guy, like he takes lead in the situation. Like he'll show up, he'll basically build a house by himself. Like if nobody else shows up, he will be the one who sets everything for the whole day.
Bravo.
He's that type of person. And it's just like he's so dedicated to that, you know, and he wants to be the best at it. And that's just that type of mentality. It's what I identify with, but that type of mentality is so rare. And so when I find it, when you see it in people, you want to just hold on to it. You know, those people are what keep you going, I think, in a way. If you don't surround yourself with people who seek that same kind of greatness, you know, you need people who are going to point out your act out for you.
Yeah.
Who are just going to, they won't be nice about it. Well, I mean, they'll be nice, but they won't. People play politics and they'll tell you, "Oh, you're great, you're great." I would rather have somebody be honest and tell me exactly what's going wrong.
Yeah. But even if you are great, like, am I...
There's always something.
100 out of 100?
No one is.
You're like 92 out of 100.
Yeah.
Can I get to 100? No, you can get to 95.
Yeah. That's Sisyphus, and that's pushing the rock up the hill, I feel like, because the rock always goes back down. Like,
boy. And
I think that's, again, the illusion of success, because you think you're done, but you're not done. You're never done.
Dwayne Johnson wanted to play football professionally, and he got cut. He kept getting cut, and he had to play in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, Ray Lewis and Dwayne Johnson were on the team together, University of Miami.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis became Ray Lewis. And The Rock said, "I'm going to go wrestling like my dad did." Yeah. And then I'm going to do a little bit of TV and movies. And now he's Moana 2.
And
everything else that he's done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so crazy to think about. He's not the only one too. I think Batista was doing football at first. Dave Batista, he ended up doing movies now, Guardians of the Galaxy and all this. But yeah, it's just I think you can't predict the future as much as you'd like to think, and I think there's no perfect world. Like there's no oasis. There's no real thing, Sometimes the best reality is one you never saw coming.
And people say, oh, well, if you want to predict the future, make it. That's fair. But you only have so much control.
Exactly.
Guarantees are tricky. I don't know what you can guarantee. Right? Even an oil change. You change my oil? Yeah. You guarantee 100,000 miles? No, I got to see you again in 10,000, 20,000 miles.
Yeah. This is why you don't loan people money, by the way.
That's a story for another day.
Oh my gosh. Guarantees, baby.
I'm going to give you a shirt.
Oh boy, I should give you one of my professional mind blower shirts.
I think it's pretty cool because I had this made a while ago. This is a medium. I figure we're the same size. No need for a tag. Well, I put my QR code in the back.
Okay.
And this is Japanese.
Japanese. I was going to compliment your shirt. Thanks, I didn't know it was yours, literally yours. So what's going on here? What does it say?
It says 2 words, beautiful penis.
You're kidding. No. All right.
So my buddy Shane Allen is tall, wonderfully awkward like me, black kid from Milwaukee.
Okay.
And we meet in college, and I see him, and there are not a lot of black kids in our college. Like out of 8,000 students, there are 80. And I see him, I go, hey, Vino Nass, you're my little brother. You're taller than me, but my little brother. So we've been friends ever since. I took him on the road with me because the road is lonely. It is just lonely. After a while, it is lonely. And he was just super helpful to have next to me. And he met a girl, and we're at the bar, and all her friends are at the bar, and we're like a group of like 8 people, and it's decided that they're going to have sex. So it's like your hotel or our hotel. Like we are having a hotel next to each other. Holy shit. So here's your hotel. So we're all hanging out in the parking lot, and they're like, we're done. We're like, hey, and we're hanging out again. And then we're, all right, we'll see you maybe later for brunch. And he's like, dude, like the next day, dude, she gave me the best compliment. She said, you have a beautiful penis. And I said, I'm going to put that on a shirt one day. And so he's in Japan rocking around beautiful penis shirt. And yeah, it's
wait, that is what it says?
Yeah, beautiful penis.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
No.
Oh my God.
Because it's Shane Allen. It says beautiful penis.
Wow.
Because she said you have a beautiful penis in middle of nowhere, Oregon. I put it in Japanese.
I think I love you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I wear this in Chinatown, and every now and then I get a look like I understand Japanese. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's not me. I don't have a beautiful penis. Shane Allen has the beautiful penis.
It's very funny because if you don't understand what it says, it's a totally normal shirt.
Looks like Coca-Cola. Yep. No, Coca-Cola. No, it says beautiful penis.
The concept of you walking around Chinatown is hilarious. Just the image of like random people being horrified and other people not knowing what happened.
Yeah. Just a few people are like, oh, I really like anime and I learned Japanese. And
because it's not that far off from if I just wore a shirt that said "fuck you" and just walked around like that.
Or like.
But if no one knew what was going on,
I wouldn't wear a shirt that says "beautiful vagina." But I remember I was in college. I had a shirt that said "I heart female orgasm" because we had a presenter come and talk about female women having orgasms.
Yeah,
what a notion! And I was like, "Oh, that's great." I was at the Pride Center, and they were like, "Have a shirt." I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get married in the shirt. I love this shirt." But I was running on the track team. They're like, "You can't wear that because like we have alumni here." I'm like. But I do love female orgasm.
Do you not?
Like,
wait,
what's the downside of this? Like, some older people the older people should love female orgasm too.
Yeah.
Do you like orgasm? It's orgasmic. Like,
who's writing these rules?
Yeah. So I had to turn my shirt inside out for that one practice.
And like, look at you now.
Look at me now. I won the Chicago Marathon.
In the shirt?
No.
You got to.
And so, that'd be really fucking cool.
God.
That'll be the logo for this one.
That would be.
I heart female orgasm. finish line photo.
You mean like the thumbnail? Mm-hmm. That's the clickbait. Mm-hmm. I like the way you think, my friend.
Thank you.
And well, thank you for the shirt. I'll give you a professional mind blower shirt for real.
Cool.
I mean, yeah, I suppose we're probably at a good point to put a little bow on this one. So, is there anything else you wanted to mention? Like, do you have anything exciting to say that's coming up? This probably comes out like a little over a month from now, if that's any context. And also, the other thing we always do at the very end is two things. Message for the kids. So you're giving them something to believe in, something to use, something actionable. I say this jokingly, but I'm sort of serious. We have wise wisdom that we've given, and you have more. You've got one more little nugget, but the question is what? It's somewhere in your brain, and you're going to give it to them. Number 2 is the social medias, where they can find you on social media, where they can find all of those viral things that you've done, all that stuff. Where do they find more of the one word Chris Jones? Boom,
yeah, that's
floor is
it.
yours.
So it's the number 1. Just type in tap 1, type out word WORD Chris Jones, and you'll find me largely Instagram, YouTube. Check it out. I have a TikTok, but I think it's kind of like giving a rubber gun to a kindergarten. Like,
yeah,
it's not a good look, and it's not that safe.
There are hypnotists who've done TikTok, though.
I know Zach P.
Yeah.
He blew up. He is the only person I was intimidated by because he had read more books than I had. Other people can read more books, but like he knew the books that I had read and he had finished more of them. And I was like, oh no, I'm still working on it. And he had a goal. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do the social media thing, do hypnosis, and that's going to get me into being a voiceover actor. He doesn't, to my knowledge, I'll text him, he doesn't do hypnosis anymore because he's in voice acting now. And that was his piggyback in the industry. He just jumped over all these people. People are like, oh, he didn't pay his dues. I'm like, everyone pays something. It may not be the dues that you're imagining, like sleeping in your car, but no one is a prodigy. They studied from the experts. So this is a message for the kids. J. Cole says that I agree. There's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. There's beauty on the level. Wherever your level is, there's beauty. Find the beauty. And if you see someone who intimidates you, that's okay. They have a different path.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of life, right? And I think it's so easy to get so far outside of yourself, or to think in the past and think in past moments of success, and to think in what could be. And I think so much of that is good. And there is a certain amount of now you need to sacrifice for the future. But there's also so much of now that you miss by constantly projecting whatever it is, whatever you think is better. The grass is always greener, but it's truly not. You know, it's not, because there is no grass. The grass, it's a metaphor. It's actually just a metaphor, and it's all right here, right now, always. And that's just what it is. That's what it's always been. But for some reason, it's so easy to not think that. And I think like there's so much beauty in the moment. I have to remind myself a lot of the time, just slow down, and don't get involved in any of that type of thinking. Just slow down and appreciate this.
It's hard if you're a Gemini, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I've noticed that about us. I like to think horoscopes are all just fun and games, but then I notice things like that.
No. There's a reason that NBA players and hockey players all have similar birthdays.
Because of the psychology.
And the fact that you have to, at some point, cut off and say, all right, you are 3rd and 4-year-olds in this school. You are 4 and 5-year-olds in first grade. So my daughter having a later birthday, she's going to more or less get held back and probably be bigger than the other kids in her school by a year, just because she has a later birthday. After, September, they make the choice, push one kid back forward. Either way, if you're, you have 6 months advantage if you're doing a sport against other people. Like I watched the NCAA, and there's this guy who ran the 800 meters and he won the national title. He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
If you're 26 years old and you're competing against people who are 21, 22, depending on the yeah, you have a few years on them.
Yeah.
And experience.
Yeah.
It's not a level playing field.
And that's why we're the way we are. You and I.
Because were you held back or?
I don't think so. I think I was the same age as everybody else. I don't think I ever got held back. None of that. No. Were you?
I went to early childhood care, pre-K, twice because I was walking really early.
Oh, really?
That was when my mom pitched it to me. She's like, you were walking too soon and I couldn't keep up with you. So I literally remember, like, preschool, telling the kids, oh yeah, they're just going to go and play over there now. I'm going to hang out with you younger kids.
Yeah. Huh. And that was just kind of like your development, you mean? Like, yeah, just staying ahead of the game in a way.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to that old soul thing too. Like, I think I wasn't referring to myself earlier when I spoke about it, but I think about myself that way sometimes. I've like, just the way I've always thought. I've always wondered, like, what is it that I don't feel like I've ever thought in like my age group. I've never wanted to think the way that my age groups thought.
Yeah.
I've always felt like
teachers are more interesting than your peers.
Always. Yeah.
Like, you're a teacher, Pat. I'm like, dude, she's lived.
Yes, exactly. And I think, So shout out us old souls. I could keep going, but I think we just got a nice little final message. So there's that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being here, man. For real. And you're always invited back. I'd love to have you. You're a new friend of the show, so I can remember that. You're a new friend of the ruse.
Yeah, I will take that. Absolutely.
I want you to give me book recommendations. I was going to say that too.
Oh, I'd love to.
If you're an avid reader, I'd love to get you to give me something.
A lot of time in my car reading, yeah. What is your next live event in Chicagoland?
My next live event. So it would have been Roast Battle, but they told me that they're saving me for the premium events. Ruse is exclusive. Ruse is the secret weapon of Roast Battle. That's what I'm going to start saying now.
Good for you.
I'm the secret weapon they whip out when they want. But yeah, so not that. I don't know. I couldn't tell you right here, right now. I'm waiting for my buddy Tim Perez to put together the next Gorilla Taco Party. Tim Perez, friend of the show. And yeah, that's going to be fun when we do that. He says one's coming for summer. It's just a matter of when. I told you about the show I'm putting together. These episodes come out about a month after they're filmed. So let's say by then that show will be announced and happening. So within the next 2 or 3 months, I really want to put together something. That I can tell you definitively. It's going to happen. I'm just trying to figure out truly what, truly what is it. I'm thinking something like what you just described to me with the show you guys had at Lincoln Lodge. A little bit of a mix.
How many shows do you average in a month, do you think?
Right now, we're getting to about 2 or 3. I mean, that's where we're at right now.
For your live things?
Yeah.
Not the podcast. Got you.
Podcast, 10 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So waiting, being a waiter.
Yes.
Podcasting and performing live, you said 10 a month.
Yeah. Well, the performing live is, I would say 3.
3 a month.
Podcast 10 a month.
Got you.
But that's podcast 10 a month is a lot too.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the point you're making? It's a lot?
No, not at all. You need to have benchmarks and compare to some degree where your peers are. And although I'm older than you, you have the position of leapfrogging other people, even myself, because you've tapped into social media, tapped into people liking this.
Yeah. Leapfrogging. I never thought about it in that way. That's such a good way to put it. It's because I'm thinking so big. That's why. It's because I don't think about this. I think about what this could be. And I think I'm always thinking that way. Like the number I say is 4,000 episodes. That's what I want to do with this show. And let's say the average is 2.5 hours, which we passed for this one. Then boom, you make it to 10,000 hours at 4,000. And that's just a fun number, just for fun. But it's just, the point is that it's not right now, And like in my mind, I have a show where I can just hit up anybody and they might want to do it. That would be the perfect world. If I could just message anyone and they might be down. I think the only way you get there is by slowly climbing a ladder.
I'm glad I checked my Instagram. And we'll talk more about that. I had a person who would do my Instagram for me. A lot of people do that, but my wife was like, "It doesn't sound like you when it's not you. Like you sound like a 22-year-old white woman." And I go, "That's because."
Why are there flower emojis in this?
Emily, who is amazing, is a 22-year-old intelligent white woman, and I
That's really funny. I mean, it's just funny because it's like, just, you know, it wasn't her fault.
No, yeah.
It wasn't her fault.
That's what Emily does the best. She's authentically herself.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, I'm glad you came, for real. I mean, I had a great time. I really, I was excited for this one, and you did not fail to impress me. It's just something, hypnosis is truly a topic that it bothers me that people reject it. And people...
Here they do in the States. Again, you got to get a passport.
They don't do that.
They don't... No, fucking, they know Hitler was a hypnotist. They know it.
Yeah.
They know it.
Yeah.
He was a charismatic dictator.
They agree with my philosophy. My philosophy is not just mine. Because when I say that everything is hypnosis, I think that I'm being original. But they just kind of know that. Because that's the thing. I think people miss that. People don't understand that that hypnosis, it's not just like... It's proving something to you. It's proving to you how simple our minds actually are. Like, that's what you should be thinking about, not whether or not this is real. Of course it's real. Yeah. You just watched it. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you'd have it again, like what I was saying about Oz going on these shows and doing it with these people. It would have to be such a grand conspiracy if you were going to colleges and you were getting people to play along. What you would have to accept to believe such a thing is so nuts. Like, it's Occam's razor. It's like the most likely thing is that hypnosis is real. And so that's really surprised me what you're saying. Because, yeah, Americans do have... I didn't know it was American. But there seems to be this weird... It's almost anti-spiritual in this sense.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of capitalism.
Yeah.
And I'm not pro or against. It's capitalism. Like, you need to trade something for the things that you want and need. But when it comes to spirituality, it's like, well, you gotta be Jewish or you gotta be Christian. It's like, no, you could be Muslim.
Yeah.
It's like, taboo. All right. You could be Hindu. We don't like many gods. All right. You could be Buddhist. We don't like fat. All right. So we don't have a spiritual connection. Yes. And not even saying religion. You just gotta, you have a heart and you have a brain and you have a gut and you have a groin, and all of them kind of need to work together. And if they don't, you'll notice, you'll get an eye twitch, heart palpitations. You're like, why do I need a pill to have sex with this person I barely know? Because you barely know the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why do I have diarrhea? Well, because you're stressed at work, and you're eating shit, and all you eat is protein drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to have as holistic of a view as life as I possibly can. Like,
That's
to
good.
Understand that everything feeds into everything else.
We're going to wrap. I'm going to take you for a walk in my car because I don't want us to stop talking.
Yeah, all right. Well, here it is. Thank you guys for being here. Thank everybody for existing and allowing life to happen. It's a beautiful thing. You go do something amazing. You see someone that blows your mind, that proves to you you've got it within yourself. How about that? Here on Radio.
Mahalo.
Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the carrot.